Well, gentlemen, the bounce house is already rocking. Welcome to Orlando. The bad weather has shifted through the area, and here come the Knights with Louisville and Malik Cunningham in town. What a time to be alive in prime time on a Friday. And welcome to ESPN College Football Primetime, presented by Ram Trucks. And you are watching the American Conference on ESPN. For the fourth time all time, Louisville and UCF clashing in a rematch. Last year's sensational game back in the Derby City. AAC versus ACC on this Friday. So glad you could join us alongside the Heisman Trophy winner Andre Ware. I'm Roy Philpott. Paul Carcaterra joins us on the sideline in just 1 minute. And Dre, we're going to find out tonight if UCF is for real under Gus Malzahn in year 2, and Louisville trying to bounce back here in week 2.
Yeah, they have to bounce back, Roy. Last week, a tough time against a really good Syracuse football team. A lot of people scratching their head. Yeah, Syracuse is for real this year. But if there's a time that there is a must-win, or a team has a must-win, it's Louisville right now to try to right their ship. UCF, they want to go where Cincinnati went a year ago, and that's they're going playoff hunting. Gus Malzahn told us this is a more talented football team in 2022 than he had in 21, and they won 9 games that year.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And of course, UCF's going to try to contain, slow down, and deal with Malik Cunningham. He's so elusive.
Yeah, he's an electric player. When things break down and they're not right, here, zone coverage, everybody's covered up. What happens with Malik? Pulls it down, makes a play with his legs, and that's the athletic ability that he has. Eyes beat zone coverages, bro. He gets rushed here, pushed out of the pocket, still accurate with the football when he's moving around. But then there's the other Malik Cunningham that shows up at times. So talented that you think, I can make every single throw when he's got receivers open or a path to escape. Throws an interception late over the middle. He's got to clean that up if they're going to have a chance to win tonight.
Had 2 picks last night, but he's got 100 total touchdowns in his career. Meanwhile, how about John Rice Plumlee arriving from Oxford and putting up huge numbers in his debut?
Yeah, he is a special athlete that Gus Malzahn has longed for at the position since coming here to UCF. A guy, a dual threat quarterback that can hurt you through the air with his arms, over 300 yards there and 100 yards on the ground on 16 carries last week. He was phenomenal.
Start number 2 for John Rice Plumlee. Gus Malzahn wants him to be the next Nick Marshall. Can he do it? We're about to find out. Oh, baby. It's already getting loud in Orlando. Louisville's in town. UCF undefeated. A new quarterback, year 2 under Gus Malzahn. They call it the bounce house.
They're bouncing.
Louisville won the coin toss and elected to receive after scoring 7 points a week ago on the road against Syracuse. Offense will try to bounce back, a touchback. And an early look, Andre Ware, at Malik Cunningham to see if he can kind of get things going in Scott Satterfield's offense.
Yeah, he told us this week that Malik needed to beat pressure and just be Malik with his legs through the air, however he has to do it. But they're going to rely a lot on number 3 in this one tonight.
Completion percentage high in week 1. Needs better production down the field, and also Tyon Evans, a transfer from Tennessee. More from him as well. It's Evans and Jordan in the backfield on first down. Play action for Cunningham. Surveys, has his man. Pass is caught by D. Wiggins. That's a big play on a first down, all the way up to the 49 and a gain of 23.
Well, they needed to get off to this type of start. Struggled the entire first half of last week against Syracuse. Wiggins just shows the numbers to Malik Cunningham. It's just playing catch. Throw and catch it and move the chains. What a night. Perfect night. Get the rain out of here, and we got some good football ahead for you.
This place as loud as you can imagine. Handoff Evans, and Evans will push the pile for 1, maybe 2 ahead to midfield.
Yeah, stellar front. Montalvo, Barber, Brash, Celiscar. All these guys up front for UCF, they're going to be tested, especially the big fella, number 5, Ricky Barber. It seems like he's been around a while, transferred in from Western Kentucky, was a freshman All-American a couple of years ago.
Knights only gave up 90 yards of total offense in their Week 1 win against SC State. No real estate available for Tyon Evans. The stop by Jason Johnson. 3rd and long.
Yeah, and you wonder why go to the run and not throw the football after the big catch, throwing catch to D. Wiggins. Well, the strength of this Louisville team are on the offensive side is the offensive line. It has been for the last few years. They returned 4 starters up front. It is loud, my friend.
Two minutes in and our first big play of the evening. Pressure. Cunningham caught. That should be enough to move the sticks. Tyler Hudson made the grab, the transfer coming in from Central Arkansas.
Coach Satterfield told us that Malik needed to beat pressure. The pressure comes in the form of Jason Johnson right in the face of Malik Cunningham.
Guards show tempo on 1st down. They'll move quickly, nearly intercepted. 2 penalty markers fly, and our first infraction of the night, as Hudson was the intended target. Our referee is Gary Patterson.
Right on the ball goes Louisville, trying to speed things up from a tempo standpoint.
Pass interference. Offense, number 0. 15-yard penalty. Repeat 1st down.
Maybe a little pick play by 2 receivers here down on the bottom of the screen. They're just blocking. I think it's Tyler Hudson blocking against Brandon Adams.
Costly penalty for Scott Satterfield's team.
Almost looked like a mix-up where Hudson didn't think, may have thought it was a run, and Malik Cunningham may have checked out of the play, and he didn't know it.
1st and 25. Ball moves all the way back to the 44. Evans gets the call again. Big numbers a week ago. Drags 2 defenders here. That was Project Bullard that made the tackle, and along with Lee Hunter.
Yeah, 13 carries, 89 yards, and a touchdown for the Tennessee transfer. They're really high on him. In this game last year, though, Jalen Mitchell was the guy that Louisville depended on. He had some game along with Marshawn Ford, the big tight end, former walk-on, who has just really turned into a heck of a player for Louisville.
Jawar Jordan, the running back. Cunningham's going to keep it. Into the boundary he goes. Cunningham, a big play. Steps out in plus territory. 3rd and manageable coming up for the Cards.
A nice block by Jawar Jordan, the running back who's in for Evans. Going to turn around and just get a piece of a defender closing from inside out. That allowed Malik Cunningham to turn the corner and at least get it to a manageable situation here for Scott Satterfield. Now it's decision time. 2 downs or 4 down territory here. 2 downs to pick up the 1st down.
You tell me. That's why we pay you the money.
I would certainly go for it.
Okay. That's what I needed to hear.
They run the football here. That's exactly what Coach Satterfield's doing, is setting it up to go for it on 4th down.
After a gain of 17, Cunningham going to call a timeout with the play clock winding down. Chaotic start for the Cards, but at least they are moving the football in this opening possession. Timeout on the field. We'll step aside. Scott Satterfield back to the drawing board for 3rd down coming up.
The bounce house is rocking in Orlando. And Andre, we did the same game a year ago. Malik Cunningham ran all over UCF's defense with his feet. And if we look at Malik Cunningham in this first drive, exactly what he told me. He wants to beat them tonight with his arm. His eyes downfield, reading through his progressions, being a quarterback, beating UCF with his arm through the air.
Yeah, I would give him the edge here with his feet, as you described earlier.
Cunningham takes off on 3rd and 5 against the grain. Up the middle. That's enough for a 1st down.
Wow. Change of direction on 2 occasions. And Devon Wilson gets turned around. Hey, nowhere to go to his right. He stops, goes to his left. Nowhere to go that way. Hey, I'll try the middle of the field and pick it up. What an athlete.
9-yard gain on 3rd and 5. Handoff Evans left side. Evans with a pass. twisting and turning ahead inside the 20. The tackle by Jeremiah Jean-Baptiste.
Again, the strength of this Louisville offense is the offensive line. 4 starters returned. Brian Hudson, the center, is the new guy. He had 6 starts last year between guard and center, so not really all that new up front for Louisville.
6 runs for 38 yards on this opening drive for the Cards. A big-time road test against UCF. Play action, wide open, the tight end, Marshawn Ford. Ford's got another first down, plows his way ahead, down to the 6.
Well, he had some game a year ago, 100 receiving yards in this game last year, just out there in the flat, wide open. It's like coverage was busted or something, but you cannot leave the former walk-on Marshawn Ford alone. He will kill your defense.
Now, hard to believe he walked on with his team. Evans, the running back, he'll get the carry through the A gap. There he goes for the touchdown.
What a start for Louisville. They scored 7 points last week and take the first drive right down the field as if it were nothing. Overcame a penalty, a pass interference penalty, and it's Evans high-stepping his way into the end zone.
James Turner on for the point after. How about 75 yards, 10 plays, about 5 minutes off the clock. Second touchdown of the season in the books now for the Cards. And a 7-0 lead 5 minutes in here at the Bounce House.
Great job up front by the big guys, the grunts, moving bodies, and Evans high-stepping his way in. Louisville up 7-0.
ESPN College Football Primetime is presented by Ram Trucks, built to serve.
Oh, the great Shaq Griffin back in the day started out his career as a defensive back, moved to linebacker in 2016, almost 20 sacks getting it done. Went to the league, now retired last month, and he's currently a part of the NFL Legends community, a league-run initiative where former players assist current and past players in terms of life after football.
He was a heck of a player.
He was.
Enjoyed watching him play.
How about
around and then kind of made his mark initially on special teams for the Seahawks and found his way in the rotation on defense.
Brock Travelstead, after the impressive start on the opening drive of the night, sends it to Ryan O'Keefe. Plenty of speed, lost the handle. 4 in black, readjusts. Driven down near the 20.
You know, the timing and the fit just feels right with UCF's John Rice Plumlee. When he transferred from Ole Miss, gentlemen, he decided to go all in on football in the quarterback position, no more baseball. He also found a coach in Gus Malzahn who directs an offense around players' strengths. Plumlee's strengths, he's an insane athlete with huge speed. Gets to 22 miles per hour on the GPS, ran for 1,000 yards as a freshman at Ole Miss. Coaches want him to slide more. I don't know if that's going to happen. He told me this week he played linebacker and safety in high school. He loves the contact.
Yeah, he plays the piano, can do a little bit of everything. Handoff goes to Bowser, and ahead for 4 yards on first down.
Yeah, he was the quarterback that they targeted. They wanted him. He hasn't played the position in 2 years. It was a wide receiver at Ole Miss. Decided to come here, and he's given Gus Malzahn exactly what he wants at the position, which is a dual threat at quarterback.
I want to check the math, but Gus told us it's been 1,000 days between starts at quarterback for John Rice Plumlee. Of course, also played baseball, missed out on that national championship by the Rebels baseball program. Tried to play baseball here in Orlando, couldn't do it this spring. O'Keefe for a minimal gain. That breaks it quickly. Third down, Andre.
Yeah, and what that drive did by Louisville is put a little pressure on John Rice Plumlee to have to come down and match points. Otherwise, you're going to get some pretty good field position.
Bowser the back, third down and 4. Plumlee a clean snap. And that should be enough to move the chains. It is. Reception by Javon Baker, transfer from Alabama. We expect to see a good bit of number 1 here tonight.
Well, when you turn to field, he is a phenomenal receiver. Big target for Plumlee. Moving the chains.
7-yard gain on 3rd and 4. O'Keefe, there he goes. O'Keefe into plus territory. Sent down inside the 40. That's a gain of 27.
Couple of touches already in this game for Ryan O'Keefe, the speedster for UCF. Gus Malzahn told us he'd like to get it to about 10. Off to a good start.
Quick tempo. Bowser on the move. Bowser, a punishing finish. Close to another first down, and I believe he has enough. Give him 10 on the play.
Well, this defense for Louisville is going to have to bow up a little bit because the momentum certainly now on the side of UCF.
5-man front. Bowser the spin. This time quickly corralled, driven down. Gain of 1 yard on the play, and that's it.
Well, O'Keefe is special. And can stretch the field in a lot of ways, super fast. And he is a good-looking player with the ball in his hands, electric.
But Dre, you watch this possession, it reminds you of what Auburn used to be with Nick Marshall and the tempo and the misdirection. It's hard to figure out where the football's going.
Oh, they pick up a first down, forget about it. They're right back on it and running the next play.
More time between snaps. There goes Plumlee. Outstanding athlete, Plumlee. Stopped at the 21 by Momo Sunogo. That's a gain of 7, third down and short.
Yeah, when I read the notes and all the background check on Plumlee, it's like, hey, he hadn't played in 2 years. Watching the film, doesn't look like he's missed 2 years at quarterback. And then watching him warm up in pregame, he is accurate.
Gus said he really didn't feel like he was rusty last week. Back shoulder toss. Baker's got it for a first down. Just like that, it's first and goal for the Knights.
And two guys we're going to talk a lot about in this game, Plumlee and Baker, and they are featuring Baker. Maybe go back to him right here.
Quick snap. Plumlee with the keeper. Plumlee with the edge. Leapfrogged the defender and came up just short.
And gave somebody a high five on the sideline.
That was right over the top of Jarvis Brownlee.
He is having some start to this game. Cunningham first, and then Plumlee. They have not disappointed here early. Bowser
steps in as the Wildcat quarterback. 5 in black. Bowser takes off. Bowser for the touchdown. Let the fireworks begin in Orlando.
I'll see you a touchdown and raise you a touchdown. What a start.
Bowser was the back that got injured last year in this game. He's back and better than ever tonight.
Watch the tight end, Alec Holler, and the block that he throws, number 82. That's the kick-out block that gets Bowser into the end zone, basically untouched.
Obarski on for the point after. Bangs it through. 80 yards, 10 plays, just over 3 minutes. How much fun is this?
Hey, we got a track meet. This isn't a distance run. This is sprints, baby. Bowser in the end zone.
Well, one of the up-and-coming defensive coordinators in college football, Travis Williams, a former Auburn linebacker, year number 2 under his watch here in Orlando. Got to go back to the drawing board a little bit after what we saw from Malik Cunningham on that opening drive.
Yeah, he is. I mean, he's got to pick his spots where you're going to blitz and bring pressure on Cunningham because he'll hurt you. 2 carries, 26 yards, and a big third down pick up to go along with it. These two quarterbacks, they have not disappointed. Plumlee has been just outstanding. Look at the production or the improvement under T. Will as their defensive coordinator at Central Florida.
It was, as an understatement, significant. Don't forget, coming up tomorrow night, Saturday night football game presented by Capital One as a Pac-12 statement affair. Lincoln Riley, number 10, USC, taking on Stanford. 100th matchup between these two rivals out west, 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific on ABC. Also on the ESPN app.
SC got off to a good start last week, didn't they?
Putting up big numbers, what you would expect. See if that continues. Big weekend of college football, more statements to be made, more upsets to be had. And Malik Cunningham, after a slow start last week, different vibe so far tonight. He's 3 for his first 3, trying to set up the screen, has a path. The pump fake and slides in safely after a nominal gain.
I mean, he is being tracked. Has the presence in mind to check behind him and then get down.
What does that tell you as a quarterback?
Well, it tells me he's seeing everything, you know, and you expect it from Malik Cunningham is he's a 4-year starter, and was kind of a head scratcher that they didn't produce more offensively last week against Syracuse, but it's not the case tonight.
Watching film of Syracuse, that's a pretty good football team this year. More on that later on. After the 2-yard gain, handoff. Evans a little shake and bake. Evans dropped near the 35, 1 yard short. It'll be 3rd down and 1. The missed tackle by Jean-Baptiste critical there.
Evans is off to a good start. And he mentioned that how much the coaches like him after he transferred in from Tennessee.
Quick snap, Evans deep handoff, driven down, and he may have lost a yard. Wow. I don't think so. Anthony Montalvo.
Moved from defensive end inside this year to defensive tackle. Was a walk-on himself and was awarded a scholarship October 19th of last year. And he just kind of slanted his way right into a play. Wow.
Louisville with early momentum. Now a 3-and-out. All of that is erased. UCF set to get the football back. Mark Bassett will punt it away for the Cards. And Devon Wilson, the Georgia transfer, with a fair catch at the 24. Well, don't forget about our featured ESPN Plus college football games coming up tomorrow. WVU hosting Kansas in Morgantown. That's at 6 Eastern. Then Central Arkansas, 22nd ranked Ole Miss, Kent State, and number 7 Oklahoma at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. Go to ESPNplus.com or download the ESPN app.
A close game, backyard brawl with West Virginia and Pitt last week. That was a good one.
Comeback win for the Panthers.
See if they can, if West Virginia can get things turned around this week.
Second possession for John Rice Plumlee. Told us this week it was tough to watch his old teammates at Ole Miss, but he was rooting them on win that national title in baseball in the spring. He'll play baseball here in Orlando next spring. Big time run. There goes Richardson. Karem's out of bounds after a 20-yard gain.
Well, I asked him yesterday after practice, hey, you ready to go, Johnny? He just looked around. Yes, sir, I'm ready. He had that look in his eyes. Bowser gets a taste of it first, and now Johnny Richardson getting himself into this act.
Knight's already with 76 yards on the ground. Richardson stopped short of midfield by Momo Sunogo. That's a 4-yard pickup. Richardson actually held the door open for us in that driving rainstorm walking in from the practice facility yesterday. Thanks, Johnny. We appreciate you.
Excellent speed and a really good receiver out of the backfield for John Rice Plumlee. He has got a lot of weapons surrounding him.
The UCF ultra fast getting off the team bus. Bowser the Bruiser back in. Blitz pickup duties this time. Dangerous toss. Nearly intercepted. Ryan O'Keefe, the intended receiver. Josh Minkins crashing down quickly.
Yeah, quick pressure on Plumlee, but he does the right thing. The ball is low. The location of the ball is what you watch. It's to the outside. That's a tough catch. Closing from inside out. He throws it back inside, then that may be a pick six because he's going to have a chance to body catch it on the move.
You can feel momentum with Louisville to start this season teetering. Any kind of big play on defense would be an enormous bonus for this team in week 2.
You need it right here on 3rd down.
They'll show pressure, back out of it. Plumlee with time, looking in the seam, and nobody available. Gamble, the tight end. It's Kimari, the intended receiver.
Boy, I mean, you're talking extremely even. Both teams now, both punting. When they both started their second drives, Louisville had rushed for 45 yards and 55 for UCF. Both quarterbacks were perfect until this drive. I mean, this is as good as it gets.
Osteen set to punt things away. Off the side of his foot, drifting to the right, well out of bounds. Just inside the 30. Decent field position for Louisville. They'll rule it out at the 25 after a punt of 27. Let's talk about Malik Cunningham making his move through the record books last week, getting into 3rd place in terms of total yards, moving up quickly the Derby City. Lamar Jackson, the all-time great, currently at the top of that list. Cunningham going to threaten in that department, and also Dre, in terms of touchdowns scored, there he goes. Down the stretch. 100 total touchdowns, trailing Jackson's 119.
May overtake everybody on that list because he threw for 2,900 yards, 19 touchdown passes last year. If he gets anywhere close to that, he's going to hold just about every Louisville record at that position.
Jawar Jordan, the running back. Tied at 7. Cunningham, bit of a high step, ushered out, crossing the 30 by Dylan Lester. That's a gain of 7.
He's so smooth, isn't he? I mean, the play fakes.
It's the perfect word for him.
Everybody going inside, and then he's got the edge because of the play fake. And when he takes off, it's almost like he's gliding.
Officially a gain of 8. Cunningham steps up, fires, pass will be caught by Marshawn Ford. His second reception. Dre, you mentioned it last year, had 8 grabs and really set the tone for this offense.
You know, we talked about him as a walk-on tight end, but we forget he was actually a receiver when he first started in college. Then he had moved to tight end and earned his way. I think that's a catch. Looking back at the replays, maybe they stop and take a look at this one.
Well, you're looking for possession and 1 foot in college. You don't need 2, and it certainly was close.
I think this kid's got an NFL future. I really do. You know, if he were 2 inches taller, you know, there'd be no doubt. About 6'4", but he goes about 6'2", 240. He can run. We mentioned the fact that he was a receiver at one point. Let's see if he has receiver instincts to get both feet down, and I think there's no. I think the toes are down. I think the toes are down as he makes.
That right knee concerns me.
And indisputable video evidence. I think it's a catch. Right knee's up. There's air between the knee and the turf before he makes the catch or secures the catch.
The frame before that one, it felt like there was about a ½ millimeter.
I'm going catch, partner.
You think they're going to overturn the call? That's enough in your mind to change it.
I think so.
Replay official tonight, Michael Webster.
Did he complete the catch at the very end of it? I think there's no doubt the toes are dragging. Then the right knee comes down. Just wondering at the very end, does he secure it and the ball not touch the ground?
If it's overturned, it's a gain of 11 and a first down.
Keep in mind, he only needs to have 1 foot down.
Right.
The left foot is clearly down in bounds.
That looks like a catch.
Yeah, 1 foot in
To
college.
further review, the ruling on the field was a catch. Will be 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Batting 1,000 tonight.
At the 44-yard line.
Andre Ware, ladies and gentlemen.
Batting 1,000 so far.
Now, how big of a play is that for a team, again, that's struggling to try to find its way early in the season?
It's huge because he was such a big impact in the game last year against UCF, going for 100 yards receiving. Just gives you so much, opens up a lot of stuff for this offense.
Year 4 for Scott Satterfield. Expectations with this veteran team coming back fairly high coming into the season. Cunningham scampers out near midfield. That's a 6-yard gain.
I'll tell you what, Scott Satterfield, he didn't lie to us, did he? He said Malik's going to be a big part of the game plan. Well, he's using him in quarterback runs, called quarterback runs through the air, and then when things break down, he has shown us his playmaking ability here in the first quarter already.
See the numbers already, 98 total yards. And start number 40 for number 3 and White. A lot of numbers. It all equates to big-time production. Nifty move. And Huggins Bruce grabs his first ball inside the 20. Now in the red zone is the Ville after a gain of 30.
How about the eyes of the 4-year starter, Malik Cunningham? He's looking totally left. And then all of a sudden, progression takes him back across the field to Mari Higgins Bruce, who they brought in to basically give a spark or some big plays to this offense. He's contributing here early.
Sophomore out of Dillon, South Carolina, the booming metropolis near the SC coast. Little end around play goes nowhere. UCF snipped it out. Huggins Bruce, the ball carrier. Walter Yates was ready and waiting.
Huggins Bruce averaged about 16 yards a catch last season. And last week, he averaged over 20 yards against Syracuse on about 3 catches for about 62 yards or so. Trying to get the weapons, the guys that can make big plays involved in this game here in the first quarter.
Jordan, the running back, after the 2-yard loss. Cunningham takes off again. Back close to the original line of scrimmage. He'll gain 3 more after that.
You said he was going to jump at some point, right?
I mean, he's reminding us, yeah.
Hey, right around the sideline. Hey, I'm not going to let you hit me. I take my legs out. Nice little leap over to the sideline to make it 3rd down and long.
Lamar Jackson-esque.
So smooth.
3rd down and 8.
Well, he's got what he wants. Going to get some pressure here. All these guys in the box telling him blitz, and now they're going to back out of it.
4-man front for the Knights. 6 in the box.
False start here.
Boy, Cunningham ate the dirt.
He got hit late.
Jean Baptiste broke through the line of scrimmage. And Scott Satterfield wants some answers.
It looked like
False start. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Repeat 3rd down.
It doesn't look like Malik Cunningham is right. Kind of shaking his head after taking a hit, and they were trying to blow it dead, the officials. And he's still going to take a shot here at the end of this. They blow it dead, takes a shot. A little acting on the back end, but
I know if somebody did that to you back in the day, there would be words exchanged.
well, there's no doubt. I might have had a face mask in my hand.
First quarter comes to a close. It'll be 3rd down and
That's the end
long.
of the first quarter.
When we come back to start the second, we're tied at 7 at the Bounce House. Andre, check out this play moments ago back in Orlando. Kind of the mesh concept with Marshawn Ford and Amari Huggins Bruce. And there's a little high five or a low five exchange
Just
right here.
Yeah, just when you think you've seen it all, they're going to tap hands. And Malik Cunningham does a nice job. I don't know if that got him open or what, but I mean, you think you've seen everything in football, and then you see a play like that happens. Amazing.
A new concept introduced perhaps by OC Lance Taylor or Scott Satterfield. We'll see. 3rd down and 13 for the Cards. Entertaining start, ACC versus AAC. Cunningham drop was lassoed from behind by Justin Hodges.
Yeah, Hodges had a solid season a year ago as the nickel. 35 tackles, couple of sacks, and an interception in 10 games. There, bringing down the elusive Malik Cunningham.
A long field goal attempt coming.
What T. Will told us, the defensive coordinator for UCF, says, hey, we like what we have up front, but the secondary, with all the experience, is our strength.
41-yard effort from the right hash by James Turner. And it is no good. He pushed it right.
Tried to get about half of it with a quarterback run by Malik Cunningham. They didn't pick up anything, actually lost yards, and they have to settle for a field goal attempt that did not go through. And it's going to set up UCF with a decent field position at their own 23-yard line.
Scott Satterfield disappointed in result of that possession. Just underway in our second quarter. A game that's starting to feel a lot like what we saw last year between these two. Plumlee back on the field. And Bowser jumps in.
Andre, you mentioned earlier you're impressed with Plumlee with the long layoff as a quarterback. He told me, looking back at past film, He said, what was I thinking? He didn't feel comfortable that he was a real quarterback. He could throw, he could run, but he didn't understand the position from a progression standpoint, the preparation. And with Gus's offense right now, he feels comfortable as ever.
And it certainly appears to be a perfect marriage. Plumlee flush, Plumlee completes it. That's going to be enough for a first down and a lot more, Javon Baker.
They have a playmaker at quarterback in John Rice Plumlee. I mean, a phenomenal athlete. You watch him on film, there's no way that you would think he missed 2 years at the position.
From the 47 after a 22-yard gain. A flip out with the tight end, Alec Holler. Stopped at the line for no gain.
And the previous pass, basically throwing a receiver open. And guys that have not been at the position, that's tough to do if you haven't played it for a while. But he is such a phenomenal athlete that he's accurate, 64% last week, and he's off to a great start here.
2nd down and 10. Good start for Plumlee. Pocket collapses, there he goes, first down and a lot more. Plumlee tripped up crossing the 25. A gain of 29, and here comes UCF.
Taysom Hill comes to mind maybe a little bit in how he plays, but the acceleration through the hole is second to none. I mean, both guys capable of making big plays with their legs.
O'Keefe with a block, and O'Keefe tumbles out near the 20. Quick screen game working to perfection. A 6-yard pickup. Knights on the move in search of their first lead of the evening. Mass substitutions on both sides. They'll slow things down. UCF coming off blasting of SC State a week ago, over 600 yards and 50 points. Scooted the ball back a couple of yards after that play concluded. Pump fake, and Plumlee is going to send this one out of bounds.
Well, that's one I thought he could pull it down and go out the back door. I mean, there was nothing out the back door, and he, just becoming a quarterback and doing the right thing. Did Colt catch that ball? you get your first catch of the year?
Yeah. Imagine you had me back in the day, Houston. Your numbers would be even bigger.
Oh my gosh! Well, I've heard it all now.
Oh, we have heard it all.
He's playing the drums upside down last week in East Lansing, catching football to sideline from Plumlee tonight. Play fake. Plumlee has a first down. Jump cut. First down and goal for the Knights.
How did this guy not play quarterback at Ole Miss? Are you kidding me? My goodness.
Great block by the left tackle, Grable, to spring him free.
Sometimes it's just timing. The right place, right time, or wrong place, wrong time.
Bowser inside the 5. And a penalty marker in the back of the end zone.
Illegal substitution. Defense. More than 12 players on the field at the snap. After this to the goal. Still first down.
Trying to get substitutions in against an offense that's going fast. Now, UCF has substituted, bringing a couple of extra tight ends in the game here, getting going with big personnel. So now that allows Louisville to substitute.
Bowser, the Wildcat quarterback. They scored on this play before. They'll do it again here. Knights out in front for the first time.
I asked Gus Malzahn, what do the scouts think about Bowser? He's got great size. He's 6'1", 220 pounds. Can run inside and outside. All he told me was they like him. They like him a lot. Same play he scored on in the first quarter. The wild Bowser. And a second touchdown run.
Oh, we're making stuff up here now. I love it. The wild Bowser. Isaiah likes it too. The transfer from Northwestern. Big time production again. Healthy this season. And it makes all the difference in the world. Right up the gut, Andre.
Excellent touchdown run by Isaiah Bowser, moving bodies as he scores 14-7 UCF.
Well, you think about Louisville football, you have to think about Lamar Jackson, his incredible production, what he's done with the Ravens and MVP in the NFL. And the comparisons make sense with Malik Cunningham. The production is similar. Malik, of course, has played in more games. Right, you pointed that out clearly earlier to us today.
Yeah, because I do it with David Klingler. You were left in the game. I was coming out at third quarter, halftime, and some of those. So you go back and forth. If they have any kind of relationship, Klingler and I were teammates. So it's natural that we go back and have that argument. But Malik and Lamar, I'm sure when they get together, it'll be talked about. Hey, you played way more games than I did.
And Lamar Jackson not able to find a way to agree to a new contract with Baltimore earlier today. That self-imposed deadline. Jordan returns the kickoff, tripped up crossing the 15. We'll send you to the studio. Say hello. Good evening to Matt Berry.
Guys, happy Friday football. We're setting up for a classic over on ESPN. It's a great night to have the app. Alcaraz, Tiafoe for a right to go to the finals at the U.S. Open. I bet your guys' game is over before the tennis match. By the way, Klingler and Ware, most prolific quarterback duo in the history of the sport.
It's up there. It's up there. Of course it is, Matthew Berry. Of course.
Matt's got me smiling here.
Big man smiling puts me in a good mood. 1st and 10. Poor starting field position. Cunningham, the play fake, slings it. And incomplete. Looking for Huggins Bruce.
You know, Andre, you mentioned earlier about Malik Cunningham and Lamar Jackson, if they have a relationship. When I spoke to Malik this week, I asked him that. He said they keep in touch. They're on a group chat. They talk very little football, a lot of funny stuff, and he started giggling. So to be young again.
I bet Lamar keeps things a little loose.
You can see that. First incompletion for Cunningham. By the way, Baltimore, pay that man his money. What are we doing? Tunnel screen. Should be enough for the first down, and it is to Braden Smith. 4 in white, and the stop by Corey Thornton.
Actually, Huggins Bruce is on the receiving end of this tunnel screen and looking left. That opens things up right, and you got a couple of nice blocks out in front.
And off near side run with a path and a lane, a leapfrog, the ball popped out. The Cards turn it over. Picked up by Devon Wilson, the Georgia transfer. And the fumble was poked out of there quickly. Quadric Bullard was able to get it loose, and a late penalty marker flew as well, so a lot to unpack.
Maybe a sideline, may have been warned on the sideline. And
Dre, that could have been a touchdown for a moment, it looked like.
He looked like he was gone and just lost control as he leaped over a UCF defender. Actually, it's poked out by Bullard.
And then a hit comes in late.
I got a quiz for you. Pop quiz.
Ruling on the field is a fumble recovery by the defense. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 11, Central Florida. That's going to be a 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. That's number 11's first unsportsmanlike. The previous play is under further review.
Jeremiah Jean-Baptiste, who has been active early, and Evans just had the ball pop out after that collision with Quadric Bullard, and really a high football IQ play.
Yeah, it really was. It just unfortunate for Evans because, you know, you don't see what's coming from behind you. That's why they tell you high and tight. And there's the flag for unsportsmanlike conduct. A nice shove there.
Michael Gonzalez.
Jean-Baptiste. Yep. You're coaching against me. I was giving you a pop quiz when the official came back to make his announcement.
Yes, go back to that.
You're coaching against me right now.
Yeah.
My team just got the turnover. I'm UCF right now. What am I about to do?
There is no way this football is not thrown deep down the field, perhaps 5 yards deep into the end zone.
We are going up top, baby. Sudden change. We are going up top. Maybe a little, I might sneak a pump fake in there to the outside, a little shoulder movement by Plumlee.
After further review, the ruling on the field of a fumble is confirmed. First down, Central Florida.
Yeah, Evans not close to being down. It was clearly poked away by Bullard before he hit the turf.
I'm trying to formation O'Keefe or Baker to get the one-on-one coverage. Whichever guy has the one-on-one coverage is the direction I'm going.
Gus Malzahn's known to get a little tricky at times. Scott Satterfield trying to refine their mojo here after a hot start.
They got them both to the same side. O'Keefe in the slot, Baker out wide.
What a find, what an addition. Javon Baker will fake the jet sweep action. Plumlee escapes. O'Keefe the grab. And a nominal pickup on first down. A good job defensively by the Ville.
Well, you could give me O'Keefe back in the run and shoot days, put him as slot along with Tank from U of A, University of Houston, put him in the slot. We could do some damage.
Johnny Richardson checks in at running back. I'm just going through the numbers in my mind. At 2,000 yards, 100 catches. I don't know.
When he catches it, there is a threat to go the distance every single time he puts his hands on the football.
And look, that's one of many reasons UCF is so dangerous this season. Delayed handoff, Richardson to the edge. Richardson, some green in front of him into plus territory. Duncan with a tackle and a 9-yard pickup makes it 3rd and short.
A little sprint draw. That's a play out of, speaking of talking about the run and shoot, that's a play right out of it.
Richardson was faked handoff, if you will, and Plumlee straight ahead with no gain, 4th down.
Yeah, he's going to be a little short, and Gus Malzahn across the 50. He said, don't be surprised if we go for it. They were 84% last year on 4th down.
3rd in the FBS. Defense cross the line of scrimmage. Free play. Baker. Contact, no penalty marker there, but this should be an automatic first down.
This is the stuff that cost Louisville last week.
Defense, number 99, 5-yard penalty, results in a first down.
Desmond Tell crossed the line of scrimmage, and you saw Scott Satterfield there, clearly unhappy with that sequence.
Yeah, he's told us earlier in the week they've got to be clean. They can't have penalties that award first downs, and that's exactly what happened. Plumlee with the presence in mind of trying to go deep to Baker.
Bowser back in, a running back. UCF trying to extend this lead. Jet sweep, Ryan O'Keefe. Makes a couple of defenders miss and corralled quickly short of the 40. Josh Meekins met him there after a 2-yard pickup.
He took over at safety for Cole, who was there last year. Nice open field tackle. You usually don't get to square up on O'Keefe like that. That's a heck of a tackle by safety.
Cardinals opening this season with back-to-back games on the road. They'll get Florida State at home next Friday night in a game that we'll call. Well, this game critical. Year 4 under Scott Satterfield trying to make some good things happen. Plumlee, full head of steam crossing the 40, a 2-yard gain. It'll be 3rd down.
I'm expecting a run with Bowser in the game to try to pick up most of this, if not the first down, and then come back on 4th down if there's a 4th down here and go for it.
I was going to say, Coach Ware, you're going for it. This is 4 down territory by default.
No doubt about it.
Gus Malzahn likely would agree with you. Plumlee, clean pocket, fires a strike, and it's out of bounds looking for Baker.
It's some pressure on Plumlee.
Do you feel as good about 4th down here after an incompletion?
Not as much. You give it a thought, but he's going to obviously roll the dice with 4th and about 5 here to pick up the first down.
He wants to hop aboard the Gus bus on 4th and 5.
I thought for sure he would hand it to Bowser on 3rd down.
7 in the box for the Cards.
He's showing blitz. Sanogo looking to disrupt some things here.
Play clock winding down. Plumlee claps for it. I think they're going to call a timeout or take the penalty. Punt this one away.
Yeah.
That's a big stop for Louisville's defense.
Trying to get him to jump twice. They had it once on 4th and 1. They got him to jump.
Offense, 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
And that kind of shows you. It's amazing. We talk about all the big stuff with John Rice Plumlee that he's done and been away from the game. A hard count to get him to jump to give you the first down. Next level stuff. And that's not from a guy that has missed 2 years of playing the position. He is being coached well by Gus Malzahn.
And Gus told us we recruited him to Auburn. We were on him hard. We wanted him to play quarterback. When he entered the portal, we knew right away John, we want to get you here. We want you as a signal caller, not as a wide receiver. Gus Malzahn had a little spring in his step yesterday in our conversations with him. I thought it was a different Gus. Brain Smith drops back to receive this punt.
More energetic yesterday.
I thought so. We'll step aside. Our next break coming up right now. Cards get it back, trailing by a touchdown on the road.
ESPN College Football Primetime, presented by Ram Trucks, is brought to you by Arby's. Arby's, we have the meats.
You think about all the great Louisville signal callers, from Johnny U to Teddy B, Lamar Jackson, the Heisman Trophy winner in 2016 and future NFL MVP just a couple of years later.
Pretty good guys play the position to come through that school.
And Malik Cunningham climbing the list. Passing touchdowns, he's accounted for 100 scores in his career. In fact, last week, first time in 30 games he had not accounted for a touchdown through the air or on the ground. That trend. Cunningham escapes here and floats it incomplete, and probably for the best. D. Wiggins dropped it.
Wiggins may have stepped out of bounds and then came back in, so it's a good thing he did drop it.
Is there anything you want to see different from Malik at this point in time, and Lance Taylor trying to figure some things out, the offensive coordinator?
I want to see Scott Satterfield, who's the play caller, get him some easy throws here. Some stuff, 3 steps, get it out.
Third down and long coming up. Evans stacked up quickly after a 1-yard gain.
Boy, Ricky Barber is owning the line of scrimmage. He's down there playing like a grown man.
Evans is going to limp off the field here. That's not a good sign for a guy that rushed for almost 100 yards last week. Jalen Mitchell, veteran running back, on the field.
Played in this game last year. Had a decent game against UCF, Mitchell did.
Big play here on third down. Cunningham wants to take off. Cunningham sit down at the 20. Anthony Montalvo.
Travis Williams, the defensive coordinator, heating things up on third downs. Gonna bring some pressure, and it gets home. A lot of bodies around the line of scrimmage. Nowhere for Cunningham to escape. And they are hyped on the UCF sideline.
Mark Bassett in to punt things away. Devon Wilson back deep to receive, standing at his own 35. Wilson recovered a fumble moments ago.
Good
Bassett,
punt.
boy, turned that one over in spectacular fashion. Waiting on the convoy, instead a penalty marker flies. Dropped at the 35 after a punt of 56, a return of 10. Let's check the infraction.
This may be a block in the back, and it's going to back up UCF here. I thought I saw, they may be talking about this one to pick it up, because I thought he pulled off.
During the return, holding, number 31, return team. 10 yards and spotted a foul. And first down.
Brandon
Time
Adams, the guilty party.
6:40 remaining in our first half. 14-7. New season and a new Gus Malzahn, year number 2 in Orlando, back here inside of FBC Mortgage Stadium. He told us, you know, he feels like this place is a gold mine. He's used that word a couple of times since arriving on the scene more than a year ago. He hasn't lost a home game here. I mean, this is one of the best home field advantages in all of college football. 31-2, going all the way back to 2017. But for Gus Malzahn, program's going to enter the Big 12 next summer. Recruiting is starting to take off here locally. And if you can recruit this city, this state, you can do some big time things. On first down, Plumlee is going to be sacked, and a loss of a couple. Yaya Diaby with the tackle.
Pretty good player along that front 7 for Louisville. 6'4", about 270, looks the part. We were talking about Gus. He did. He kept repeating that this place is a gold mine, that if they called him after being dismissed by Auburn, he was going to take the job. And about 5 minutes later, they called, and it was a no-brainer. He was coming.
He was talking with his wife, Christy, and then that phone call came. Sure enough, here he is in Orlando. Contact. There's the penalty flag. Deep down the field was Alec Holler. The coverage by Kendrick Duncan. The contact equals a pass interference penalty.
Yeah, this transfer from Georgia Southern, where he was a starter for 3 years there.
Pass interference. Defense, number 27. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Yeah, Duncan's saying, hey, I was held along with it. Let's take a look. Grab and hold. Both guys are fighting. I think he just let it play out.
Fifth infraction called against the Cardinals.
Penalties are killing Louisville right now.
Tempo has slowed down dramatically in this quarter, really for both sides. The defense is settling in. Plumlee will push the pile a couple of extra yards. 4-yard gain.
Plumlee's listed at 6 foot, 200 pounds, but he plays like a guy that a little bit bigger than that, not afraid to take on defenders. And the accuracy has been on display as well.
Make sure I get this quote right from Gus. He said, you know, it may sound like a pipe dream, but we believe we can win a national championship here. And he said this season is critical. We've got to get our crap together. They set the screen up. Far side. There goes Richardson. First down and a lot more. There goes Johnny. Touchdown, Knights.
And we got a flag down around the 32-yard line. It's maybe coming back. We talk about the speed of O'Keefe.
Holding. Offense. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. The result of the play is still a first down.
Tylen Grable may have been the guilty party, but you put O'Keefe and Richardson on a 4x1, you got something now. It's going to be hard to beat. Anybody in the American is going to have trouble.
Well, UCF was projected third in the preseason media poll behind Houston and Cincinnati in its final year in the AAC. Gus Malzahn can't believe it. Well, that's an earful and then some.
Wearing out. The side judge down there close to his sideline.
Baker in motion. Treats on an attempted screen. Contact. Another penalty marker flies on a deep ball intended for O'Keefe. Yeah. Makins was in coverage, Andre.
Well, that's why he was in coverage. He had his right hand wrapped around his waist. O'Keefe couldn't separate.
Defense, number 5. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Yeah, just watch the film tomorrow, young man. That is pass interference big time. You got that right hand wrapped around the waist of O'Keefe where he can't really accelerate. And we talked about penalties. Penalties right now killing this Louisville team. 6 penalties on their defense. Excuse me, 6 all day, 4 of them on the defense.
Already 58 penalty yards tonight, above last season's average. Richardson to the edge. Another big gain on first down. Give him 12. Stop at the 15, and here comes UCF.
Shady McCoy. That's who Richardson reminds me of.
I like it.
Oh, my goodness. Speed, the ability to make defenders miss and make a break full speed.
Why not try to run it again, instead play action? Baker. Front corner was out of bounds.
Heck of an effort, though. That's a heck of an effort by Baker. Javon Baker, the transfer from Alabama, out of bounds, clearly out of bounds.
Good coverage by Brownlee. 2nd and 10.
Maybe your opportunity to go quarterback draw, my man.
We called it last week. We'll roll the pocket out. Plumlee under duress has a man incomplete. Boy, Holler got 2 mitts on it, couldn't reel it in. Boy, Plumlee just needed a little bit more touch on that one with pressure coming.
Not sure who the pressure was, but it didn't allow
Galati
with the pressure didn't allow Plumlee to set his feet. If he can set his feet, then it's a wrap that Holler's going to get into the end zone.
Cards hanging on. 3rd and 10. Bowser checks back in.
Gotta hold to a field goal attempt here if you're Louisville.
Plumlee pressure. Plumlee flings it, and that's out of bounds. Griffin, intended receiver, 18 in black. That'll make it 4th and 10.
Ask us what did they do last year to kind of give you problems? Talking about Louisville's defense. He says, well, when they come to the line of scrimmage, they're never in the same place when the ball is snapped. There's some kind of game being run, and there they are able to come free on Plumlee and get in his face and force him to get rid of the football maybe a little sooner than he wanted to, forcing this field goal attempt.
Obarski looking to connect on his first field goal of the season. Missed one last week against SC State. And from 32 yards, just inside the right hash. And Obarski missed it. Pushed that one to the right as well, and Louisville's defense comes up clutch. Chip shot is off the mark. It remains a 1-touchdown affair in Orlando.
I'm Matt Barry, coming up with the Sling TV halftime report with Louisville playing. We'll talk ACC. Is it Clemson and everybody else, or can another team win the conference again? Plus, Alabama reloads out of the transfer portal. We'll break that down, and virtual locks are back. Can Galloway rebound? America wants to know. Jesse Palmer, Joey Galloway join me coming up.
Matt, we look forward to it back here in Orlando. First 2 possessions tonight. Couple of touchdowns since then. Punts, missed field goals, a turnover. Big gainer for Louisville. Back to live action. And rumbling straight ahead goes Jalen Mitchell with Evans banged up. That's a gain of 24.
Yeah, he is a talented young back. And we mentioned the type of game he had a year ago against this UCF team. Doing certain things that were similar to that run. Needed to get back to running it and open it up with Mitchell.
All the way ahead to the 44. Cunningham off the back foot, batted down, and that was Tremont Morris brash.
Felt like Louisville needed to do the following things. Get back to running the football. They do it with Mitchell. Easy throws. Quick game from a formational standpoint. They try to go quick game there. And then quarterback called runs with Cunningham.
Well, it's interesting. The 7-point scored last week at Syracuse. That touchdown coming in the first quarter. That was it. Same thing so far tonight with an early touchdown in the first. Nothing since. Let's see if that changes here on 3rd and long and on this possession.
Scripted plays. 75-yard drive resulted in the touchdown you're talking about. And then since then, once you get into the rhythm of calling plays and you get away from the script, it's been a struggle.
Jordan, the running back. Cunningham looks his way. Flush. Pass caught by Braden Smith. Sandwiched down between a couple of defenders. Jason Johnson met him there first to prevent the first down, Andre.
Maybe thinking about going for it here on 4th down. Pressure by the big fella, and Ricky Barber forced the ball out of Cunningham's hands quickly there.
You can feel the Cards kind of hanging on here.
Wow.
In search of a big play of some kind.
Maybe trying to draw him offsides. I'm not sure if an offsides penalty would give Louisville the first down. It'd be close, but then you have a better chance of executing it on 4th down.
Cunningham on 4th down. Cunningham incomplete. Smith was open, short of the line to gain, but Quadric Bullard was all over him.
They got to run that route at least to the depth or past the first down marker. So if he catches it, he's going to be short anyway. You give your quarterback who had time, go ahead and set the defender up a little bit more, force him at least into a back pedal. There's no back pedal there, so it was easy to jump the route.
Andre, in all honesty, it felt like that play never had a chance We remind you, coming up this weekend, Sunday NFL Countdown before the Bucs and Cowboys square off. We go one-on-one with Dak Prescott, plus all access inside Davante Adams' big offseason for his Raiders debut. Kick off your Sunday with NFL Countdown, 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPN. Plumlee straight ahead on first down. He's going to pick up 9, maybe 10. Let's see if they move the chains or where they'll spot it.
Yeah, basically 2-minute drill here for John Rhys Plumlee. And it's take care of the football, get into scoring position, and try to add points to this lead.
Officially a gain of 9. Movement. He'll take half of those yards away.
Prior to the snap, false start, number 73, offense, 5-yard penalty, still first down. Second down.
Samuel Jackson, and not the actor. The guy that moved over to left guard from right tackle.
That is a different individual, yes.
Yeah. The actor's not that big. He's not carrying around tries and buys like that, man.
Bowser, the running back. UCF, time winding down in our first half, a touchdown lead. 4th overall meeting between these two. Crazy game last year. 42-35 was the final. Cards won it on a pick 6. Baker was running open for a minute, covered by Riley. And Quincy Riley with a nice job.
He actually threw that one out in front for Baker. And I think it was intended to be a back shoulder throw. This is 3rd and 6. And now you got issues if you don't go ahead and convert here. Maybe give the ball back to Louisville to put together a drive to maybe get some points. And they're showing blitz again.
7-man front. Let's see if they back out of it. They do not. Here comes the pressure. The screen call perfectly. But no real estate available for Xavier Townsend. First catch of his career, the freshman from right up the road in Tampa. It's 4th down.
Yeah, coaches are really high on him. Super talented young man from Tampa, Florida, not far. Just down the road from Orlando.
I mean, it is a 4th down love fest in this first half between these two.
I think they're trying to get Louisville to jump again and spend some time here. Get some time off this clock.
Smart play. Cards do have 2 timeouts left and will not use one here, it appears.
Take this down right around about a minute.
Well, Trey, we do have to give some credit to Travis Williams.
Central Florida.
Defensive play
That's
caller.
their first charge timeout of the half. 30-second timeout.
For the Knights, and also Brian Brown calling plays on that side for the Ville. I mean, these guys have kind of stepped up the last quarter or so after just a crazy start by both sides' offenses.
Both offenses go the length of the field against these 2 coordinators you're talking about, defensive coordinators, and then since then it's been a punt fest, especially for Louisville. I mean, they have going down the field after that opening drive. It's been just a bevy of punts too in the last couple of possessions.
And the 2 missed field goals, Cart.
We got a big 4th down coming up here, but John Rhys Plumlee is more than just an athlete. Started playing piano in the 2nd grade, oftentimes with his football pads on. He told me his parents made it clear that on top of sports, their children would play an instrument. His grandma, she eased the process for him, and he enjoyed sitting on the piano bench with her, talking, chatting about life, and also learning the piano. He became a competitor, too, in recitals, and I'll get to you in a little bit in terms of how he used that to channel some stuff.
Playing an instrument in football pads is something I've never even thought of before. And apparently that was a regular occurrence in the Plumlee household back in the day.
Yeah, he was competitive at the recitals, just like he is in football and baseball. He said he focused on the competition aspect of it. He loved the Bachs and the Beethovens, and now he takes modern music and sings and plays on his keyboard in his room here in Orlando, and word is he's pretty good. And knowing John Rhys Plumlee, he's pretty good at everything.
Yeah, I could believe that.
How about Osteen's punt, a 43-yarder down to the Louisville 2.
Well, it takes away what you're thinking here if you're Scott Satterfield to try to get a field goal. With 57 seconds, you're thinking about just putting any points on, a field goal maybe, but then you get backed up here. Now you got to take care of the football.
Tyon Evans checks back in. That's good news for Cards fans. A stutter step and twisting his way past the 5. The tackle by Keenan Hester. Shout out to Corey Thornton, who had that outstanding special teams play moments ago for the Knights.
Coach Malzahn has got other ideas rather than letting this time elapse off the clock. Trying to get one more drive in.
Monday Night Football is back, and what a juicy storyline. Russell Wilson, now with the Denver Broncos, goes back to Seattle Monday evening, 8 o'clock. And, of course, the debut. Joe Buck, Troy Aikman. Gentlemen, we can't wait to watch Monday Night Football. And Russell Wilson, how loud is that place going to be? What is the reception going to be like? How will Russell Wilson perform? The numbers in his career, we know they're outstanding. But this is juicy.
Yeah, it's a great storyline. It's going to be one loud night, if not the loudest in that stadium's history, to make it difficult on Russell Wilson going in there. But that's almost a coin flip in terms of who's going to come out of that thing with a win.
Knights with one timeout remaining, under a minute to go in our first half. Cunningham will keep it to the edge. Malik Cunningham, a jump cut, crossing, sailing across the 25, and a pickup of 23 yards.
Tyon Evans with a great block for his quarterback. That loosens things up, and that allows Cunningham to get the edge. But number 7 throwing a nice kick out block and occupying the corner to that side. Bullard, actually it's the safety, Bullard coming down and run support.
Clock stop for a moment after the first down. Deep ball from Cunningham. And incomplete. That'll stop the clock. Cards, timeouts remaining. Cunningham 7.5 yards per touch so far in this first half, as Hudson was open just for a moment.
Just kind of felt like they need to get him back running the football. Called quarterback runs to get him firmly entrenched in this game again. And then easy throws where he can just kind of catch and fire and allow playmakers on the edges to make some plays for him.
Cunningham completed his first 5 passes tonight, now 7 of 12. Fake it to Evans, dump off is there. And Marshawn Ford, a nifty finish and a first down for the Cardinals.
And a smart move by the redshirt junior. Marshawn Ford getting out of bounds for this Louisville offense. Nice catch and fire, and Ford's going to step out of bounds, keep about 20 seconds left here in the first half on this clock.
You got 2 timeouts remaining, so obviously, Trey, you can still use the middle of the field here.
You can go anywhere. Coach Satterfield can call whatever he wants, deliver the football anywhere on the field, as you mentioned, and still get a timeout. And a nice play called for the next snap.
Cunningham unloads, incomplete, and he had a man. It was Hudson in plus territory, and that would have been a big gainer.
And that's when you would take the timeout to save the time, and then maybe even start feeling pretty good about the field goal attempt with 15 seconds and a couple of plays to get you there.
Scott Satterfield calls the plays. He brought in Lance Taylor as the new OC this offseason. The offense looks quite familiar still. It's put up big numbers throughout his career as a head coach. Pocket collapses. Cunningham racing towards the sideline. Short gain. The pressure coming in by Ricky Barber.
Excellent pressure. The big fella, Ricky Barber. That's a defensive tackle. 6'3", 295 pounds, getting up the field and forcing Cunningham off his launching point.
9 seconds remaining, third down here. What do you like?
Trying to hit a big one to at least keep hope alive in terms of a field goal attempt, but this is, I think it's don't make a mistake. Let's get in the locker room.
Trailing by a touchdown on the road at upstart UCF. Cunningham, back foot toss. And that was going to be Smith that made the grab, but he stepped out of bounds, came back in. That is a penalty.
Cannot be the first player to touch the football. It's declined, and it's fourth down. Then You just have Malik Cunningham run around and then maybe take a knee and, you know, use up the 3 seconds that's on the clock.
Ruling on the field with the Louisville receiver went out of bounds, never reestablished himself. By rule, the pass is incomplete. 4th down.
3 seconds remaining, 3rd down for Scott Satterfield's team.
Cannot punt it away here. And you mess around, put O'Keefe back there, and you got a bad situation. Just run around, kill the time, or I wouldn't even throw a Hail Mary here and run the risk of having that returned or an injury happening. Because I don't think.
Timeout, Central Florida. That's their 3rd and final charge timeout.
And I'm not sure Malik Cunningham could get it to the end zone from where that ball's spotted, and then him in the shotgun.
And currently on the 43, you'd have to think he would be at least behind the 35 and unloading a deep pass. I mean, look, it's been a good first half for Cunningham, over 180 total yards, but still no touchdowns. And Dre, you can feel it up here in the booth that Louisville's offense is sputtering a little bit in leftovers from last week.
Hook and ladder, maybe. A little curl with a flip to the back or something, or a speedster coming on the outside of him.
Lance Taylor, Scott Satterfield talking things over.
Gives you the catch and the run aspect of it. And you know they're going to be playing off deep, but you'll have a guy in the open field if you're able to execute. See what they dial up here.
Bounce House has done its part so far.
Lining up like they're going to throw the Hail Mary.
Fourth down, which should be the final play of the half. And it is. Hudson corrals it. Time escapes, and that'll do it. 2 quarters in the books at FBC Mortgage Stadium. 14-7, UCF with the lead. Time now, the Sling TV halftime report. Get you to Matt, Joey, and Jesse back in the studio. Gentlemen. And welcome back to ESPN College Football Primetime, presented by Ram Trucks. And this is the American Conference on ESPN. Start of our second half back in Orlando, 14-7 the score. Home team out in front of Louisville as UCF halfway home. Andre Ware, Roy Philpott, Paul Carcaterra down on the sidelines. Great to have you with us. Interesting start tonight. A lot of fireworks early, then the defenses kind of took over, and some offensive issues as well.
Yeah, some penalties, self-inflicted wounds for UFC. They turned over Louisville a couple of times, but they weren't able to get points out of it. And luckily, they were able to get the 2 touchdowns to have a 7-point lead here.
Yeah, we'll see if Malik Cunningham can kind of turn things around. Louisville's offense kind of slogging around in that second quarter. Numbers aren't bad. I mean, you're talking about over 500 total yards between the two sides. Missed field goals, a turnover, and some other issues have crept up.
Yeah, both teams kind of look like they're looking in the mirror at one another when you talk about how evenly matched this game has been, all the way down to essentially time of possession, which is separated by just 2 minutes. But and UCF has the lead and getting the football here, so we'll see if they can get this offense going, as well as Malik Cunningham and Louisville's offense to kind of, you know, reinvigorate us with that start that they had to the football game.
Travelstead will kick things off for Louisville. Bounce House bouncing. Checking all the boxes in the UCF student section. Richardson awaiting Travelstead kick. 4 yards deep, and the kneel down as we check in with Paul Carcaterra.
The Bounce House is a fun spot going on a Friday night, but I just spoke with Gus Malzahn, and 163 yards on the ground, so obviously there's some seams there for the Knights offense, but he thinks offensively they need to attack in the passing game. He said Louisville's defense is daring them to beat them through the air, so look for a lot of John Rice Plumlee testing this Louisville defense with his arm, and he's also happy with his defense. I asked him, how have you contained Malik Cunningham? How would you assess that? He said, well, look at the scoreboard. They only have 7 points.
And watch Javon Baker, the second half of this one. UCF goes to the air When we talked to Gus Malzahn, he was beaming about Baker being involved in the game plan.
Plumlee on first down flings out the screen, crossing the 30 to the 31 as Gamble makes the reception, a tight end. And Baker provided the blocking action that time. 7-yard pickup.
They are right over the ball, going tempo here.
Isaiah Bowser stifled in that second quarter after a fast start. Again, Plumlee retreats. Pressure. Plumlee going to be sacked. So perhaps a statement being made by the Louisville defense. Momo Sanogo with the TFL there to make it 3rd down and long.
Yeah, he's one of the leaders on this Louisville defense. Gets the team lined up, and he brings energy to practice every single day. Talking to Brian Brown earlier this week, he said, hey, this is an easy guy to coach. This is a guy you want on your football team.
Richardson, the running back, on 3rd down and 9. Cards would love to force a 3 and out. Play action again for Plumlee. Screen. It's there. Richardson nowhere close to the line again. Upended, sit down, 3 and out for UCF.
Well, that's a big start for Louisville and their defense. A confidence boost for this Cardinal defense.
Brian Brown's got to love this start in the 3rd quarter for his unit. Keetrell Clark with the tackle there, and it was a form tackle.
And it was Syracuse last week that just gouged this defense with screen passes. Screens over and over again. And talking to Gus Malzahn yesterday, he said, hey, we're going to throw our share of screen passes, especially on 3rd down, and it went for nothing.
Braden Smith retreats, corrals, takes off to the edge, can't get there. Stop at the 34, Paul.
Yeah, I also spoke to Scott Satterfield after the half, and he's pleased with his offense. He thinks Malik is doing a really nice job in terms of orchestrating jobs, in terms of the middle of the field, but they're not punching in. If you guys remember, this week he told us field goals will not beat UCF. They have 281 yards of total offense, but they need to punch it in, and he feels like they can pressure John Rice Plumlee on the defensive side too, and really go in man coverage and bring some extra help from the safeties in terms of putting pressure in Plumlee's face.
Yeah, Malik Cunningham was a big part of the game plan coming in, and that's when they went 75 yards. To figure out a way to get back to that type of play calling and get him more involved.
Jordan in the backfield. Cunningham wants it all. Heaves one deep and incomplete. Now 2 receivers in the area. I'll go back to what Satterfield said to us as well, guys. We have to have that sense of urgency. I thought we saw it on that first possession.
Exactly.
I don't know that we've seen it since, but clearly I maintain that Louisville's in search of some kind of spark tonight. They haven't really found it consistently. Evans and Jordan, 2 backs in the backfield. Cunningham just 3 for his last 10 in the passing department. Option. And the pitch. They'll pick up 3, maybe 4. A hard hit. Devon Wilson laid the lumber on Jordan.
Got to be careful that he doesn't pick up a penalty for taunting, but what a lick by Wilson coming up from the safety spot, reading it out, and then surveying things. It breaks on the football. That's just getting lower than the other guy. And bringing the squat rack, the bench press, the incline, all of it.
That was nasty.
Man.
3rd and 6. Play clock winding down. Movement.
False start. Number 70. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
This has been the story with Scott Satterfield's team the first 2 weeks of the season. Syracuse, same thing. Here tonight, 7 penalties, 2nd false start by this offense. It has plagued this team for 2022, the first 2 weeks of the year. They have some momentum, penalties, and then all of a sudden it starts to go a little bit flat on the offensive side.
Cunningham on 3rd down. Heaves it deep again. Incomplete. Tyler Hudson had it for a moment. The jump ball was there. Could not finish the catch as it sprung loose. Brandon Adams with the blanket coverage right on his back.
Usually 9 out of 10 times Tyler Hudson's going to make that play. He's got excellent hands, and he's able to redirect himself, get both hands on the football. The ground just pops it out. Could not maintain possession through the ground.
Von Wilson back deep to receive this punt from Mark Bassett. Hunters have been outstanding tonight. A wobbler will bounce, take a Cards hop. Come up briefly and recovered by Wilson after a 49-yard effort. Knights get it back, second possession of the third quarter for UCF after this. Close game tonight, close game a year ago back in Derby City, tied at 35 late in the fourth quarter. Knights look primed to kind of get things going after a pick by Tremont Morris-Brash. Cunningham picked off, but guess what? Dylan Gabriel comes back next possession. Another tip ball. Jalen Alderman takes it to the house. 13 seconds left. Final score 42-35. That only told part of the story as Dylan Gabriel was injured. The final play from scrimmage. Bowser, a good pickup on first down. But Dre, you were there. You guys called it a year ago. Wild finish.
Yeah, it was a crazy finish. And with Dylan Gabriel, you couldn't tell he was hurt because he threw the pick six. You thought he was just down on the field, you know, after throwing a pick six that decided the game. And turns out he was gone for the year pretty much.
Cards banged up a little bit in that one. UCF lost as many as 5 starters that night. Back-to-back carries by Bowser yields a first down. And Isaiah now was 4.5 yards per touch. Gus perhaps wants to keep it more on the ground on this possession. Plumlee will oblige. Tackled behind the line. He's going to lose a yard by Mason Rieger.
Rieger off the edge, reads it well, and is just placed on scholarship August 23rd. He was one of 3 players. It's a local product. Played 9 games last year and earned himself a scholarship.
Second down and 11. Cards force a 3-and-out on UCF's first possession of the second half. Been stuck at 14-7 for quite some period of time.
Get this offense going. The last 4 drives, 3 punts and a missed field goal.
Pressure. Plumlee's going to be sacked again. Brought down behind the 30. It was a race to the quarterback. And a couple of extracurricular conversations happening that time. Ramon Puryear stepped in.
That's the safety, the true freshman working outside, and they're mixing it up with one of the defenders from Louisville. Xavier Townsend, the true freshman, and working like maybe Quincy Riley. I'm not sure.
Defensive coordinator Brian Brown stepping up the pressure. 3rd and 13.
Bring it again here.
Here it comes. Pocket collapsing. Plumlee going to heave one deep. Has a man open for a moment. Twisting and turning around was Jalen Griffin with Clark in coverage.
Yeah, Griffin was expecting the ball inside. Plumlee threw it outside. They're unable to connect, and we got another punt that's going to take place here.
So the Cardinals defense now with 5 straight stops on UCF possessions. Defense is doing its part. It's time for Cunningham to get things going, right?
No doubt. 4 punts and a missed field goal in their last 5 possessions.
Smith, the fair catch.
And not in that order.
Still 7-point game in Orlando.
No.
UCF's defense playing well, and how about defensive end Josh Seliscar getting the job done? And in fact, he was mic'd up during practice this week for us. Have a listen.
You know, you're going to hear a lot of people. I got my glove on today, Coach. On the side.
Got the glove on, okay.
Right hand.
You try to hit me with that.
Dre, that was one of the 30 minutes of time this week where it wasn't raining down here in Orlando, but we appreciate Josh and UCF with that inside access.
Sounds like he was having a bunch of fun this week in practice.
Hey, you win your first game. Defense is playing well. Hey, getting it done after giving up just 10 points in week 1. Cunningham gets it back. Here come the Cards. Deep handoff, driving, and finishing across the 35 is Tyon Evans. Quadzilla gains 3 on that play.
Maybe setting up a bootleg with Malik Cunningham. Feature the running game to Evans, and then maybe try to get Cunningham on the edge to make a play with his legs. Got to get him re-entrenched in this game somehow. Big legs of Evans.
Cunningham pressured. Toss in the flats is there. No running room for Amari Huggins-Bruce. Tackled by Brandon Jennings.
15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
Katie McDaniel, Dre, that's a costly infraction against the Knights.
And sometimes it's just what the doctor ordered to kind of give an offense a spark. A big third down was coming, and then now all of a sudden Louisville's going to get a 15-yard penalty and a first down. And Katie McDaniel, number 47, late on the quarterback, right around the head. Oh yeah, that's roughing in any stadium across the country.
That'll move the football all the way into UCF territory. Cunningham with time. Dumps it across the middle. Evans has it, makes a man miss, turning his way for another big gain, or a penalty marker flies after a pickup of 9, almost 10.
You see why Scott Satterfield loves Evans.
Holding, number 44, offense, 10-yard penalty in the spot of the foul. Repeat first down.
Yeah, Francis Sherman, the tight end. He's the guilty party. Another walk-on in this program who was placed, he's one of those 3, I mentioned it earlier, that was placed on scholarship August 23rd. Tough now. First and about 18 yards for Malik Cunningham in this Louisville offense.
Cunningham has accounted for 11,000 total yards in his career. He needs about 46 here, make it 56. Reach the end zone again.
You know, gentlemen, watching Malik Cunningham on the sideline, he's so positive and upbeat with his teammates, specifically Tyler Hudson, who dropped that ball down the sideline the last possession. He was with Hudson. He told me this week Hudson is an incredible talent. Over 3,000 yards at Central Arkansas. He's also getting single coverage a lot here, Andre.
Second down, Cunningham heaves one deep, has a man, pass is caught inside the 15.
And guess who?
Tyler Hudson on cue.
Thought he should have caught the other one that found its way to the grass, and this one he was not going to let it get out of his hands. I asked Scott Satterfield, who's the guy with the hands? Who's got the best hands on this offensive roster? Quickly said Tyler Hudson, and he shows it right there.
A gain of 38 yards. The Cards are in business. Cunningham, the pump fake, buys some time, steps out of bounds, and upended awkwardly after a short loss. Tremont Morris-Brash with that pressure.
Boy, the roughing the passer penalty. Go back to that. That gave this Louisville offense new life. They go right down the field, take a shot to Hudson. He comes up big, and now inside the red zone are the Louisville Cardinals. Be aware for the quarterback draw.
Cunningham with 67 yards on the ground tonight. Hands is off. Evans spun down, and he's going to lose maybe another yard. Ricky Barber and Morris-Brash again.
Gave the look where they were almost inviting Malik to run it. And once he hands it off, bodies start to creep towards the line of scrimmage. T. Will, the D coordinator, again, finding the answers for Central Florida.
Cards 2 for 8 on third down tonight. Jalen Mitchell checks in the backfield. Cunningham retreats, floats it, front corner and out of bounds. Pressure coming quickly. Walter Yates, Ricky Barber.
They got to take the field goal here, or at least attempt the field goal. Now he's missed one already, James Turner. Let's see if he can right the ship here.
9 for 12 a season ago, 0 for 1 this campaign. And a 35-yard attempt. Try to slice into this 7-point lead.
Now, this is well within his range. Range is about 50 yards, so should have no problem with it from a distance standpoint.
Middle of the field as well. Turner on the way, and that kick is good. 14-10. Our new score. 6:07 to go in our third quarter. Cardinals are in it on the road in Orlando. Once again this season, all states will celebrate every field goal and extra point made by participating universities by making a donation to the university's General Scholarship Fund. Thank you, all states.
Both these quarterbacks started hot. Cunningham 5 for 5 to start the game, 7 of 10. Now since then he's 3 of 10, and waiting on Plumlee, who started hot as well, 9 of 13 for 78 yards. He's 3 of 8 for just 7 yards since.
Richardson sits down halfway home in the end zone. Knights will get it back. What a lineup we've got coming for you this weekend and also on Monday. The U.S. Open Women's Final tomorrow afternoon on ESPN. Saturday night football game. The ABC has top 10 SC taking on Stanford on the road. Don't forget about the U.S. Open Men's Final Sunday afternoon, also on ESPN. That wasn't enough. Russell Wilson going back home to Seattle.
Wow.
Seahawks, Broncos, Monday Night Football. Joe Buck, Troy Aikman will bring you all the action. What should be quite the scene in the great Northwest. Here a great game, 14-10. Home team out in front. Andre Ware, Roy Philpott, Paul Carcaterra. And John Rice Plumlee straight ahead. As Bowser steps in once again as the Wildcat. So we've seen that a couple of times tonight. In fact, both touchdowns scored by the Knights out of the Wild Bowser, I think you called it.
Yeah, just trying to generate a running game, because now it's all Plumlee and dropping back the pass without the running game, and Louisville's been able to really tee off in terms of their pass rush and get after the quarterback.
Bowser with 36 yards, second down and long. Plumlee brought down. Back at the 21, Dorian Jones, 11 in white.
A 4-star player out of high school, and is a youngster, redshirt sophomore, is really starting to wreak havoc. He's making plays now all over the field. Big third down here, third and long. Don't want to make a mistake, and we're going to have a false start on the 6'10" right tackle.
False start, 72, offense, 5-yard penalty. Still third down.
Ryan Swoboda comes in from Virginia, the Crad transfer. Costly infraction. The Ville, meanwhile, now with 4 sacks. And look, Brian Brown's called a heck of a game defensively after some early issues working against UCF's offense.
Won a state championship in basketball. 6'10". I need him on my AAU team.
Swoboda. You're trying to recruit guys.
Yeah, dump it down inside.
He's too old for your program.
He is, really.
3rd and 18. Pressure. Screen. Short of the line to gain by about 13 yards.
Well, you better have athletes on the defensive side of the ball that can run.
Yaya Diaby qualifies there.
And no doubt, because when you bring pressure against the tunnel screen, somebody misses a tackle, it's good night with the speed of UCF. But Louisville's been able to hold up much better tonight defending the screen than they did against Syracuse a week ago.
Second catch for Townsend, the true freshman from Tampa. Osteen gets it away. It's a wobbler and it's short. Grabbed quickly by Smith, spun out near the 43.
What a heads-up play by Smith, because he thought it hit one of his players, and he was going to field it and not take the gamble that it missed.
Hey guys, everyone loves a good barber, right? Well, UCF has one. About a third of the team and half the coaching staff, including Gus Malzahn, they get their hair cut by a guy who goes by the name of Monster. His real name is Marcus LeBron. His first UCF football client was the legendary quarterback Mackenzie Milton a few years back, who refers to Monster as a big brother to the players. Players like Isaiah Bauer talk about life outside of football, relationships, the good and the bad. I spent some time in the chair with him today. I'll tell you what, he's talented and he's a wonderful guy.
Tight cut there. Carcaterra. Phil gets it back. Jordan spins around for a gain of a couple. Give him 2.
I like the cut Kark had. I didn't know he was that talented. I might have rolled over there with Kark.
Late penalty marker flies. Yeah, you could use a little trim up there.
No doubt.
Not a bad idea.
Boy, that penalty flag again. This is against Louisville. Man.
Unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 5, defense, pulling the player off the pile. 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
I'll tell you what,
Number 5, first, unsportsmanlike.
I wanted Andre to come get a cut, but the problem with Andre Ware is he sleeps in on Friday's game day. Right, Roy? Let's be honest. He shocked us today by the early morning workout, but Andre Ware's got one thing on his mind on Friday's game day. Sleep in and a beautiful breakfast.
I got to rest, man. I got to rest to bring the energy on Friday nights. I'm getting my rest. I did. I was shocked to see Philpott in the facility today working out.
I like to get mine. Thank you. Come on now. Cunningham on first down. Pressure, and he's lassoed down. Josh Celiscar. Oh, give me a little gritty after the fact.
About Celiscar, after we talk about him mic'd up in practice this week, got to make a play, don't you? Getting to Malik Cunningham.
There it is.
They're going to have to take a timeout here, maybe. No, they've got plenty of time, 15 seconds or so.
Chaotic formation set. Cunningham, all kinds of real estate, and there goes Malik. Malik inside the 20. Malik towards the end zone for the touchdown. Cards are back in front.
He is a fixer. And by that, I mean when things look broken all over the field, the guy just finds a way to make a play. Wow. Picked up a nice block by Braden Smith that helped him out tremendously. But it looked like the defense had angles on him. He runs away from them and finds himself a way into the end zone. Here comes Louisville.
Cunningham over 100 yards on the ground. That was a 43-yard touchdown run. And that was a thing of beauty after the chaotic start to that play, just trying to get set up properly.
When I thought it was going to be another penalty, a holding penalty against Louisville, and turns out it's unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on Ricky Barber, the second of the drive, and that allowed for Cunningham to continue the drive and then break that big run. That's what he's capable of.
And you wonder, is that the spark Louisville's been in search of through these first almost 2 games now, both contests on the road? Travis Williams back to the drawing board, working with his defensive unit, and let's see, John Rice Plumlee has a response after what's been kind of a methodical 2 quarters for UCF's offense.
3 of 8 for 7 yards is what Plumlee is in his last 8 passes. So he is going to have to ramp up and get this offense going again. And it's time for O'Keefe to make a play. It's time for Bowser to make a play. It's time for Baker to get himself going.
Low line drive. Off of 4 hops, fielded by Richardson, finally 4 yards deep. Awkward touchback. Take it out to the 25. A few of our upcoming AAC football games on ESPN Plus coming up tomorrow. Cincinnati hosting Kennesaw State, 3:30 Eastern. ODU off that upset against Virginia Tech, goes on the road against East Carolina. And Northern Illinois at Tulsa. If you're an AAC fan, you got to have it. Sign up today at ESPNplus.com.
East Carolina, they look good last week.
We'll see them later this year on the road at BYU, and also I believe at Cincinnati, if memory serves me correctly. But yeah, they had a chance. Should have beaten NC State.
We get to go to Provo?
We do.
I'm going to have to make my way to Bam Bam's Barbecue.
Oh, you're already chomping for it.
How about that? I'm going to take Cart to Bam Bam's Barbecue.
I think we can get him there.
Tell you what, that's going to be an experience for you two. I've experienced it a couple of times. You just wait and see.
We had some good wings last night here.
No, this kills that.
Plumlee back on the field, handoff to Bowser. UCF's offense stymied.
Right around the line of scrimmage, Louisville has basically taken control. And it started late in the first half. They are controlling things up front with the front four in the running game. And then obvious passing situations, they're getting home with the blitz. And here comes another one.
Jared Dawson starting to make an impact. More pressure off the edge. Plumlee escapes. Plumlee surveying. Floats it deep. Pass is caught. Baker has it. Baker is going to score, and there is a penalty marker down back at the 20.
Holding. Number 72. Offense. 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down. Second down.
Ryan Shaboda, the right tackle, and when he commits a foul or penalty, hard to miss at 6'10", 325 pounds.
Andre, that's the second touchdown off the board tonight for UCF due to a penalty.
Not only is it off the board, but the yardage, instead of it being 2nd and 10, it's 2nd down and 20, and you hit a big one that they're going to erase. How good is Javon Baker?
Well, maybe a hand or two on Riley's back as he caught it. 9 infractions tonight for UCF for 91 yards, taking away the 2 scores in the process.
Well, you can just about set your watch that John Rice Plumlee is going to get some pressure right here.
2nd down and 20. Quick option pitch. Richardson upended after a short gain.
This defense has come to play tonight for Brian Brown. And it looked totally different than a week ago. And there's another, it looks like a flag along the sideline.
Illegal substitution. Defense. More than 11 players on the field. 5-yard penalty. Repeat third down.
Second one of those, right?
Second down. Second down.
Trying to substitute when UCF can snap the ball at any time and can't get off the field. Been jogging off, but when they have the football, you have to motor to get to the sideline. Otherwise, you're going to get caught pretty much every time.
Well, not a great sequence for Riley. Was shoved down on what could have been a touchdown. Then the penalty. Trying to race off the field, 3 and white. Tunnel screen. Townsend, catch number 3, results in a gain of less than 3. 3rd down and long again for the Knights offense.
Well, it just looks like a totally different team in white on the defensive side of the ball. I mean, you see the speed, you see the ability to blitz and time it and get home. 3rd and long, I would expect Brian Brown to bring another blitz here. Not going to allow these speedsters to catch you in zone and catch the ball and run.
Cards get Florida State at home, their first home game of the season next Friday night. And the game that we will call, and Florida State watching this evening certainly. Off to a 2-0 start, the win against LSU last Sunday. Plumlee again escapes pressure. Turns upfield, tripped up from behind. Yaya Diaby.
He has come to life, hasn't he? They really want him to turn it on this season. He's a big-time playmaker. 270, and he can run. Nursed a lot of injuries last year, and he's healthy this year in his senior year and starting to show it.
8 consecutive 3rd down stops for Louisville tonight. On 4th down, Osteen will punt things away again. Braden Smith straight ahead. And a short return of 4 yards after a 33-yard punt. Jeremiah Jean-Baptiste, the hard tackle. Timeout. End of the 3rd quarter has arrived. A good one in Orlando. The Bills up by 3. ESPN College Football Primetime presented by Ram Trucks. 15 minutes to go. Back inside the bounce house. Can the Knights charge on? Off to a fast start. Year number 2 under Gus Malzahn. Quarterback comparison. They've been good, not great, but Malik Cunningham starting to emerge, Andre.
Yeah, he really is. A big touchdown run to give this team the lead.
Tyon Evans spun down after a short pickup. Ricky Barber met him.
Got a face mask. Evans had his face mask turned around, so that's going to be another 15 yards.
Personal foul, face mask, number 5, defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
5 penalties now against the defense of the personal foul variety, Andre.
I just had a handful of the face mask of Evans, and now they're moving the ball without having to execute plays on offense. It's the penalties that are starting to take effect on UCF. Self-inflicted.
106 penalty yards, 10 infractions so far. Evans stopped at the 35 by Seliskar.
Yeah, this is a time in the game where had a big, experienced offensive line. Talk to us about it. Taking control of the line of scrimmage to try to start chewing some of this clock down, and then reward yourself on the back end with some points.
Big contest for both leagues tonight for the ACC. Power 5 on the road for the American and upstart UCF. Going to the Big 12 next summer. 3rd down and medium coming up. Seliskar another tackle after a 1-yard gain by Evans.
UCF, Cincinnati, Houston, BYU, all in the Big 12 next year.
That's going to be fun.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
And of course now with the 12-team playoff.
Yeah.
That kind of gets everybody else excited, thinking that they have a chance, and they do. 3rd and 5. 4-man pressure. Here comes a delayed blitz. Crosser is there. Right at the line to gain. Let's see if he got there. That was Braden Smith.
Well, Wilson is a force at safety. Just disconnected Braden Smith from his helmet.
That's a 1st down.
I'd be in no hurry to get out of the huddle. Let that play clock run a little bit. You're trying to keep some pace to the offense where it doesn't get totally stale, where you're running the clock and not staying within rhythm. You have to stay in rhythm and get the play call, get out of the huddle, get to the line of scrimmage, and execute. But you do want this offensive line to start leaning on UCF a little bit.
And you and I at practice yesterday noticed the size difference in what we anticipated at the line of scrimmage. UCF, very fast team on both sides. Louisville a little bit bigger up front. Tight end corrals it. Des Melton, his first catch. Stopped by Johnson. That's a 7-yard pickup, and all of a sudden Cunningham has refound that first quarter rhythm.
Well, you've got a 4-year starter at quarterback. Tons of experience. He's played in a lot of games. He's going to take care of the football here. Not going to force anything. Methodically move his team down, hoping to reward him with the big points, which is a touchdown as opposed to a field goal. Malik Cunningham in his element right now.
Cards on the move. Officially a gain of 8. Will feed Evans, and number 7 rumbles for a 1st down.
Physical run. Jason Johnson meeting him in the hole, and Evans gets the best of that exchange. Ooh.
Now you go back to the 4-man competition at running back, all the way back to spring practice. Evans claimed the first-team honors, but there's some good backs back there with Jalen Mitchell and Jordan and Cooley, who we haven't even seen tonight.
They're young. Pretty much all of them. Juniors. Evans is a junior. The other 3 are just sophomores.
Now in the red zone. Trying to extend a field goal lead, and a timeout will be called.
Scott Satterfield's all the way out
Timeout, Louisville.
to the logo, the American logo on the field.
Cards driving, leading by 3 on the road. Well, Louisville now over 200 rushing yards, trying to finish off their 3rd consecutive drive with points. And inside the red zone, you see Cunningham, Tyon Evans, their numbers slowly starting to creep upwards. Scott Satterfield has to be pleased. Malik Cunningham's completed 4 of his last 5. He'll keep it here on the ground. Walter Yates brought him down quickly after a 2-yard pickup.
Boy, UCF is doing a nice job of collapsing the mesh point. So there's really, it forces a quick read by Cunningham, and then when he has to pull it, there's always a defender right there. Ford limping off, and they'll afford to lose him. Big playmaking tight end that they could certainly use down here in the red zone.
Already 4 minutes off the clock on this drive. Big difference between a field goal and a touchdown. Cunningham looking long. Pressure up the middle. Cunningham escapes. Far side scamper.
Wow.
First down and goal coming up. A penalty flag flew at the end of that play.
It's going to be a hold and bring this all the way back. What a move, though. What an athletic move by Cunningham.
Number 7, offense, 10-yard penalty. Repeat 2nd down.
Evans, the running back, the guilty party.
Where will they march this off from? It was past the first down marker. It's going to be just 2nd and long.
Well, Yates or Hunter could have gotten Cunningham a little earlier on that run.
Man, that's questionable.
It really is.
I thought the hold against Swoboda was questionable as well, and this one certainly questionable against Evans.
Ball will be spotted back at the 18. It is 2nd down and 10. Jalen Mitchell, the running back. Open in the flats. Cunningham races the other way. It'll be 3rd down. Well, the pressure came in by Josh Seliscar once more.
They got 2 really good, dynamic D linemen in Barber and Seliscar. 2 guys that can move, they can make plays, chase down quarterbacks. Gonna need them right here on 3rd down.
Bounce house comes alive for 3rd and 10. Clean pocket for Cunningham. All night to throw. And heaves it out of bounds. No flags on the play. A field goal attempt coming up for the Bill.
Again, well within the range of James Turner.
Turner 1 for 2 tonight. Did miss a chippy early. Connected in the 3rd quarter from about this same range at 35 yards. This one from the left hash. And Turner bangs it home. Our new score, 9:45 remaining, 20-14. Louisville on the road with the lead.
ESPN College Football Primetime is presented by Ram Trucks, built to serve.
Well, it wasn't that long ago, even if it seems like it was. 13-0, the win against Auburn in the Peach Bowl. Scott Frost taking his team to that undefeated season, the mythical national championship, of course, under the new college football playoff format, moving to 12 teams. UCF that season would have reached the playoff and would have been on the road against Alabama. We would have loved to have seen that matchup.
No doubt, 12 playing 5. What happens with the NCAA tournament every year? 12 always takes down a 5, right?
Oh, that's right. Yep. There you go. I don't know if the transitive property applies between the sports, but maybe at some point that'll prove to be the case. Fun game tonight at the Bounce House. Richardson from a yard deep. And hit hard short of the 20. KJ Cloyd came crashing in. That's a wedge-busting tackle.
So if I'm John Rice Plumlee right now, I got my group in the huddle. I'm telling them, hey, we're okay. Do not panic. Just down 20-14. We need to stick this one in the end zone. Let's put together a long drive, keep our composure, and march this thing down the field. Stick it in the end zone. Let's go home.
The Ole Miss transfer, was recruited by Gus Malzahn to Auburn back in the day, keeps it here. Plumlee made a couple of defenders miss and upended short of the 25.
The competitor that John Rice Plumlee is, these are the moments that he's built for and wants to prove where he belongs. Also on the sideline, saw him spending some time with the receivers. Don't be surprised you see him dial up something with Javon Baker, who he loves on 50-50 balls. He told me earlier in the week, he's the type of guy, he's like a rebounder in basketball, always finds the inside track.
Knights will pick up just their second first down of the half on another Plumlee run.
Decide to get him back involved in the game. How do you do it? Through the running game. Let him make some plays with his legs to open up this Louisville offense. Soften it up a little bit.
10-yard gain for UCF. Knights are undefeated with Gus Malzahn as a head coach in this building. FBC Mortgage Stadium, a.k.a. the Bounce House. Jones the tackle after a short gain. A big weekend of college football coming up. SC Stanford tomorrow night. Some other games. How about a Pittsburgh-Tennessee rematch from a great game we saw a year ago?
Yeah.
Some really tricky, kind of interesting games between conferences. Plumlee, Seam, has a man. Baker! Well, tried to thread the needle. Quincy Riley was in coverage. May have gotten a paw on it at the last minute.
Yeah, he was taking no chances with that one. Riley with excellent speed on the back end, was a 100 and 200 meter state champion in the state of South Carolina, Columbia, South Carolina. Transferred in here or to Louisville from Middle Tennessee. Able to get his hands on that one.
Former AC Florida Falcon from Columbia SC. 3rd down and 8. Cards bring pressure. Plumlee slings it incomplete. Short arm by Baker. And quickly it's 4th down.
Have to punt it away and trust your defense here.
How about this Louisville defense in the second half, yielding just 2 first downs thus far?
Yeah, 9 straight stops on 3rd down for this Louisville defense. Amazing.
8th punt of the evening coming up for UCF. Andrew Osteen has done a nice job. Fair catch called for, made at the 26 after a punt of 37. Timeout as we step aside. 8:13 to go. Louisville up by 6. Well, a heads-up play by Braden Smith on that last fair catch on the punt return. He realized Louisville had 10 players on the field instead of 11. Confusion sets in. He counts it up twice, realizes, hey, I'll catch it. That's it.
Smart.
We'll get the offense on the field.
Smart player. Somebody's going to come free, or maybe 2 are coming free on him. And smart to fair catch it. Don't take the punishment. And make sure that you're set up nicely to start this drive.
Cards with 214 rushing yards so far. A big game for Louisville and for Scott Satterfield, beginning his 4th season in Derby City. Handoff straight ahead, gains 3. Stopped by Yates after the rush by Jordan. And for Scott Satterfield, finding that intensity this week, that energy, the focus that was lacking at Syracuse. Hey, so far so good. They got to close strong, Andre.
Yeah, I want guys in the huddle that are excellent in ball security. Maybe why Jordan's in the game right now, but you cannot put the ball on the deck right here.
Cunningham with time. He's one as a man breaking open, and it's caught for a first down. Hard collision, a late penalty marker flies. Marshawn Ford able to reel that one in, and Corey Thornton laid the lumber, and let's see.
Yeah, I thought he actually disconnected Evans from the football, and maybe a targeting call
Personal
here.
foul, targeting, number 12, defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down. Previous play is under further review.
One way or another, that's the 6th personal foul in the UCF defense.
That's when you want the ball a little faster. If you're, Marshawn Ford.
And that ball did sneak out on the far sideline after the collision.
A launch, helmet to helmet or in the head neck area. That one's going to stand, big guy.
Corey Thornton has been a physical defender in that cornerback spot tonight. We've seen him with a couple of big hits. And Ford clearly a defenseless player in that sequence, Andre.
Yep. So
really checks all the targeting boxes.
It checks just about every box.
Well, the pass incomplete. It would have been a 3rd down and 7. Instead, it's penalty number 11. And the automatic first down, assuming the targeting call stands. The personal fouls there. And by the letter of the law, you see the launch, the upward thrust, the contact against the defenseless opponent, and the forcible hit. Call will be confirmed.
I certainly agree with you here. There's a launch contact to the head neck area on a defenseless player. So this is huge.
Referee Gary Patterson, our replay official Michael Webster, looking at what you're seeing right now.
Fans are going to say, well, you know, it wasn't that much contact, but you're trying to get certain plays out of the game, and this qualifies within the rule.
Big call as we await the ruling.
Oh, it seemed like Louisville couldn't do anything right in the first half from a penalty standpoint. And then second half, it seems like it's flipped itself to the UCF sideline.
After further review, the ruling of the field of targeting overturned. It'll be 3rd down at the 29-yard line.
It was taking a while to reach the conclusion. You wondered what was happening. Overturned. 3rd down and 7.
I mean, you don't have to lay a guy out for it to be targeting. That is unbelievable.
That changes everything.
I don't understand that one.
Knight showing pressure. Here they come. Cunningham has a man. 1st down, Cardinals.
That's 4 years of experience where I am not going to flinch. We just had a big call overturned that was in our favor. I'm not going to flinch. Hey, let's go execute, get down the field. Throws a perfectly thrown ball to Braden Smith.
Gain of 12 on 3rd and 7. Jeremiah Jean-Baptiste brings down Jalen Mitchell after a 1-yard gain.
I just think right here, Scott Satterfield, he's got a, I know you got a rotation going with running backs, but at this point in the game, it's 6:57. I'm going with a guy with the secure hands that's not going to put it on the ground. I want the best ball carrier that I have that I can depend on, not the rotation.
He had 21 points scored in the first 20 minutes. Since then, it has been a defensive slugfest between these two. Cunningham stopped at the 47. Third down coming up, a gain of 5. Jean-Baptiste and Jason Johnson got there.
And looks like Mitchell is
Timeout,
down.
injured Louisville player.
It's Jalen Mitchell, the running back that carried the ball the prior snap.
Third down and 4. Louisville by 6. .626 remaining. Back inside the bounce house. Student sections are rocking. Andre Ware, Roy Philpott, Paul Carcaterra. Third down and 4 in a 6-point game. Louisville leading UCF on the road. Penalty markers fly in, no play. And a false start's going to set him back 5.
Prior to the snap, false start, number 44, offense, 5-yard penalty, still third down.
Francis Sherman.
Gotta sit in there, big fella.
Knights need a stop. Can they get it? Cunningham, yes. Fourth down.
When he had his go-to receiver, which seems like that's what Smith has been most of this game, he was open. Just kind of skipped one in and got to depend on the defense with 5:54 left here in the fourth quarter to get you a stop again. They've been magical here in the second half, but got to do it one more time. And all it takes, Roy, is a drive by UCF.
Bassett got it away cleanly, and a late marker comes in.
I think this is the larger of the two fouls. Not running in, but roughing. So it's going to be the big yardage. They're talking about it right now. Bullard is a little too aggressive.
The early indication running into the kicker, which would just be of the 5-yard variety on 4th and 9. And he just missed blocking that punt.
I'm all confused. A little acting on the end of it, but still.
And now Scott Satterfield wants to talk things over with our referee, Gary Patterson.
Running into the kicker against the defense. 5-yard penalty will be enforced. Repeat, fourth down.
Critical call, Andre. That was close.
Amazing. I thought for sure it was going to be the roughing.
Well, remember, it was a week ago. Quadric Bullard had a block punt against SC State. He may have gotten a fingernail on that one right as he came crashing home. So no automatic first down. 4th and 4. Let's do that whole sequence over again.
Send Malik Cunningham back on the field here and try to draw this defense off sides. There's no way Scott Satterfield's going to snap the football here.
And that'll force a UCF timeout.
Timeout, Central Florida. That's the first timeout of the half.
One of two things.
30-second timeout.
Either get them to jump off sides, or the second one is force them to take a timeout so they got less to drive down the field once they do get the football back. So mission accomplished by Scott Satterfield.
Well, UCF had its punt return team on the field when Cunningham stepped back on. A little crafty maneuvering by Scott Satterfield.
I still don't think that ball was going to be snapped.
No.
There's no way. On your own side of the 50-yard line, punt that baby and play defense. The way Louisville's defense has played in the second half, definitely punted and play defense.
I want to go back to that targeting penalty that was overturned. And if you go back and watch the sequence again, the point of emphasis headed into this season, the forcible contact. And was that clearly apparent on the call that was overturned? Remember, originally ruled targeting. They went to the booth, they overturned it. And that may be the one area that is a bit in doubt.
You're seeing that play in slow motion as a replay official. It was obviously enough force to disconnect a receiver from the football. That, in my opinion, was targeted.
4th and 4, and they'll snap it. Cunningham racing. Cunningham drops it off. Ball came out. Incomplete.
Early on the field, it's an incomplete pass. First down, UCF.
Marshawn Ford had it for a moment at the line to gain, twisting and turning, and then it popped out.
Boy, and I tell you what, Malik Cunningham held on to it just a little bit too long, because in Ford's mind, he doesn't know if he's going to take off running with it, so he's caught in between whether the quarterback's going to run, so do I turn up and block, or do I catch the football, stay in my route? It's thrown a little bit behind him, which makes it a tough catch. I'm shocked the ball was snapped.
Why go for it there, leading by 6?
And you give them excellent field position to go basically take the lead in the game.
Plumlee starts this possession off in plus territory. Dropped by Holler, the tight end.
It's contagious.
Well, the offensive football on display in this second half has been lackluster at best at times. Credit the defenses to a certain extent, but we've seen plays like that more times than not. Second and 10. 7 punts and a missed field goal in their last 8 touches for the UCF offense. Bowser will get a block from Plumlee.
Nice move to bounce that thing outside and pick up roughly about 4 yards or so.
3rd down and a long 6.
As it looked like initially he's going to get stopped in the backfield.
The Knights find a way to generate any kind of offense. Low snap, Plumlee corrals. Route is there. There goes Baker. Javon Baker. The quick twitch on display inside the 20, a gain of 24.
Nice timing from Plumlee to get the ball out when you see one-on-one coverage on the outside. An excellent job by Baker to get himself open, and then he just becomes an athlete.
Under 5 minutes to go. Plumlee, the keeper, leapfrogs a defender, sent down hard. Kendrick Duncan. Big gain on first down, though.
Plumlee wants to play in all 12 games. He's going to have to tone that down just a little bit.
7-yard gain for the Knights.
Bowser at quarterback.
The Wildcat has proven successful for UCF. Can he get to the edge? With 1 tackle, will pick up the first down. It'll be 1st and goal just inside the 10. Minkins had a chance for a moment that time. Drake couldn't tackle number 5.
We are here because of a 4th down where Louisville decided to go for it on their own 48-yard line or so. Dropped pass by Ford, and UCF is in business.
Richardson in motion. They'll fake it on the jet sweep. Plumlee slings it. Nearly picked off. Dangerous throw. Looking for Holler. Riley stepped right in front of it.
Oh, my goodness. He could have just about sealed this thing if he holds on to this. Late over the middle. Never, if you're a young quarterback.
Second and goal. All of a sudden you can hear a pin drop in the bounce house. Bowser, power finish, diving ahead inside the 4.
Excellent block by Holler, the tight end, along with Grable, the left tackle.
Bowser again. It'll be 4th and goal. Ran into a mass of humanity. And Yasir Abdullah got there first. What do you call here?
Almost may spend a timeout here if I'm Gus Malzahn to get my best play call in order. Don't want to rush through this thing. This is a huge down in the game with time continuing to tick down. I'm gonna get Plumlee on the corner. Give him a run pass option here.
Plumlee moves in under center. Richardson, the running back. Couple of play fakes. Back of the end zone. Who grabbed it?
Looks like maybe an interception.
Brownlee came away with it. A conversation in the back corner. Either way, Louisville's defense stands tall.
First down at the 20, Louisville.
When it felt like the ball changed hands maybe once or twice there.
It looked like Brownlee had it.
The ruling on the field is an interception.
Went through his hands
Previous
to
play
Griffin.
is under further review.
Then Griffin doesn't come down, and it's just laying in the chest of Brownlee at the end of the day. Wow. What a tussle.
It was 4th and goal, so either way, Louisville finds a way to keep the Knights out of the end zone.
How about Louisville's defense bailing out this offense, or maybe even saving the ball game with this play? Not sure anybody had possession. I think at the end of the day, it may be Louisville's ball at about the 6-yard line. That's worst case.
That was surprisingly close to a touchdown catch for a moment.
We've seen a lot in this one in the second half.
At the last moment, Griffin had possession of it.
Right.
The foot came down for a split second, and Gus Malzahn's thinking about this right now a little bit. But the ruling obviously critically called on the field as an interception. You need indisputable video evidence to overturn that. Brownlee clearly has first dibs. Then there comes Griffin.
Does Griffin put it away, though? Does he possess it?
Andre, that foot was down for a moment.
The ruling on the field is going to supersede everything, I think, because you just can't tell who comes down with it at the end of this. Ball may be out while Griffin's foot is coming down.
If the ruling on the field stands, Louisville gets the football after the touchback way out at the 20-yard line. A potential game changer to try to salt this one away.
Riley dropped an interception with a play before or so. Interesting.
Yeah, he did come down out of bounds. The Turnover belt on the shoulder for the moment, and Brownlee thinks he's got this one.
I actually think the ball is going to be placed at about the 6th with Louisville, their football at the 6-yard line. I'm not sure either one of them was inbound. Certainly Brownlee at the end of it. First interception that Plumlee's thrown this year.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands as an interception. Touchback, ball will be placed 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line.
Stands not confirmed, not enough to change the call in any manner.
Happiest guy on the field right now, Brownlee.
Louisville turns it over on downs on its own side of the field. UCF comes down, has it 1st and goal. Gus Malzahn's team unable to capitalize.
Still has 2 timeouts, 2:52 left. Lots of time left. For Gus Malzahn to get a stop and put together one more desperation drive.
So they'll gain 14 yards on the interception call standing. A wild 4th quarter, multiple replay reviews. ACC trying to win one on the road in a very tough environment. UCF has only lost 2 games here since 2017. Evans straight ahead and a gain of 5. We'll see how quickly Gus Malzahn wants to utilize these timeouts. And literally, Dre, we're seeing tonight anything can happen in this one. Anything.
Anything. It's been a great night. And we are set for a fantastic finish. Buckle your seatbelt over there. It's been a nice ride tonight.
Officially a gain of 6. Cards now with 224 yards on the ground. 8-man front. He won't gain another one here. Spun down by Jason Johnson is Evans. And now here comes the timeout for the Knights.
Timeout, Central Florida. That's their 2nd charge timeout of the half.
Now coming up tomorrow night, primetime, Pac-12 Statement Affair, Lincoln Riley, number 10 USC taking on Stanford on the road. Matchup number 100 between these 2 West Coast rivals. 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific on ABC, also on the ESPN app. Lincoln Riley, a great start. Boy, a game like this is what I've learned over the years. You get a Friday night game, wacky things happen late. We'll see how the final 2 minutes and change go, but this just sets the tone for the weekend.
No doubt about
More
it.
craziness will go down
That's why we
tomorrow.
love Friday nights.
Indeed. And next week we will be up at the Derby City to see this same Louisville team against Florida State. Certainly Mike Norvell and company are watching tonight. 2-0 start, win against LSU. That was a wacky ending. But now conference play arrives. Noles will be on the road a week from tonight. Big win here. 3rd down and a long 4.
Put the ball in my 4-year starter's hands and let him make a play.
That's what they'll do. And he won't make it. And it's nowhere close. And the Knights get it done. Ricky Barber, Anthony Montalvo.
Central Florida. That's their 3rd and final timeout of the half.
Well-used timeouts by Gus Malzahn to give his offense one more shot at it with 1:59 here. They have playmakers. O'Keefe has been quiet the entire second half. So is Richardson. Baker, we saw him.
Now Gus Malzahn will try to figure things out here. Louisville's defense now has stopped UCF 9 straight possessions. 9. And they're going to need to do it a 10th time.
Good punt.
Townsend, the freshman, corrals it. Xavier Townsend, good starting field position, crossing the 40. Well, the Knights have had 2 touchdowns wiped off the board tonight due to 2 penalties. The last one coming moments ago here in our fourth quarter. Critical. Plumlee back on the field.
Let's see if Plumlee can lead his team down the field to nail this baby shut.
Pressure up the middle. Plumlee hit as he throws. Pass is caught. Baker, that's a first down. The clock stops. UCF out of timeouts.
Been away from the position for 2 years and stood in there like he's been playing it every day, delivering to Baker. I mean, he gets the blitz, staring it down, and gets hit, and still able to complete the ball.
After a gain of 15, Plumlee again looking for Baker. Back shoulder toss, incomplete. Riley in coverage, and he has been all over the field in this second half tonight for the Louisville defense.
Well, they need, somebody's got to get lined up. You got two receivers uncovered at the top.
Riley races over. Movement could be a free play. Plumlee knows it. Heaves one deep. End zone. And it's intercepted, but this play coming back.
Offside. Defense. Number 3. 5-yard penalty. Repeat second down.
Plumlee knew it, which is why the ball went up. Just trying to make a play. Knew he had a free one.
90 seconds remaining. Penalty number 12 called against the Cards. 2nd and 5. Low snap for Plumlee. Oh, a lot of zest on that pass. Incomplete. Looking for Griffin. Dangerous throw.
It may have been Minkins with his hands on that one.
When you think back to all the great games played between these two, they've only played now 4 times, but all of these contests have been close. Last year, the game comes down to a pick 6 late.
Here comes the blitz.
And Plumlee again. Baker dropped it. Well, the coverage was there. There was a little hand fighting going on. Jarvis Brownlee made sure that that pass was not corralled.
Big play here to keep the game alive for UCF. Out of timeouts. Needing to convert here on 4th and 5. And keep in mind, Plumlee can make plays with his legs.
Card showing pressure. It all comes down to this. Need 5 yards. Plumlee had a lane. Pass is incomplete. Townsend could have reeled it in. He did not. And Louisville on the road in a massive comeback win.
Right. Played about as, with the exception of the first drive in the first half, tough first half for Louisville, but they have more than made up for it here in the second half, offensively and defensively.
No, the pass was a little bit behind Townsend.
I honestly thought after he's patting it a couple of times, pull it down and run for it, no doubt. I think he would have gotten there.
Andre, it felt like Louisville struggling last week, obviously, and to start tonight after that initial touchdown, you get the road dub in a hostile environment like this before coming home for your first home game next week against Florida State. Big time win for Scott Satterfield and for Louisville football in 2022.
Sets up a magical matchup next week against Florida State, coming in a hot team. Took care of LSU, as you mentioned, last week. And this was big. This was about as big or necessary a win this early in the season for Louisville as you can get to maybe a must win for their season and program goals and all the things that they had envisioned coming into the year.
Knights had their opportunities. The late drive deep into Louisville territory, 4th and goal. Bang bang play in the back corner. But the defense ruled the evening. 10 consecutive stops to end this one for the Cards D. And that'll do it. Knights held scoreless in the second half.
What a game.
20-14 the final score, Andre.
Well, the experience of Malik Cunningham in the second half just kind of shines through, or did shine through. Made plays when he needed to. I thought some of the inexperience maybe of Plumlee in the second half of this one, once he was getting blitzed over and over again, just couldn't seem to make plays.
Paul Carcaterra.
Coach, let's be honest, it was a disappointing week with the loss at Syracuse. With a slow first half, ultimately, what was the difference in the second half for your team?
Well, I think our defense played outstanding. They came to play tonight. Last week did not play good, didn't tackle well. And tonight they answered the bell. And UCF's a good football team, and you just don't come in here and win football games, man. They're 31-2 in the last 5-6 years. So that's a huge win for us, and I'm proud of our guys the way they fought.
Coach Malzahn always brings it offensively. What specifically did you do on defense?
Well, we tackled better, number one. We didn't tackle good last week. And I thought our DBs played much better in the secondary. More contested catches, made them work for the ball, trying to throw it. And, they did a great job with it.
Last year, I was at the Louisville UCF game. Malik ran wild, so the key was to stop him on the ground. He's still at 121 yards. Describe his impact in this football team.
Yeah, he's huge. When he gets the ball in his hands, running the football, that's what it's all about. Last week, we did a poor job coaching wise. We didn't let him run as much. We had to get back to the roots, and he did that tonight.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, thank y'all.
Louisville finds a way on the road. The Cards survive, and the defense led the charge. 20-14, our final score. For Andre Ware, Paul Carcaterra, I'm Roy Philpott saying good night. Thanks for watching. So long from Orlando.